rumor that I had cancer. And
What?
Yes. Apparently there was this rumor that I had cancer, and sometimes it was in remission, sometimes it wasn't, and that's why the books were taking so long. And come on, guys, it takes a long time to write a 700-page book.
There are 761 pages of text in here.
Yes. Cultures, different customs, different rules.
Have you had time? Because I know how much time it takes for you to create these novels. Have you had time to do any preliminary research or sketching out some basic ideas?
These books have been kicking around in the back of my head for 10 to 12 years, because it was that long ago that I started thinking about what am I going to do when I finish The Wheel of Time. These ideas always kick around in my head for a long time before they come up as a story.
Well, then we weren't going to have to worry about losing Robert Jordan, author, just because this series is gone.
Oh, no. I intend to keep writing.
Good, because we are a selfish people and we like our occasional large chunk of fiction delivered to us so that we can devour it hungrily.
I doubt I will begin writing small or slim.
And we wouldn't want you to, because this is the Robert Jordan that we've enjoyed, and this is the Robert Jordan we look forward to.
Oh, thank you.
And we are out of time. And I want to thank you for coming by here. It's incredibly generous of you, considering this long traveling that you're doing to promote Knife of Dreams, #1 bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list. A wonderful accomplishment. Congratulations again.
Oh, thank you.
Last time on Revisiting the Wheel of Time.
With this going on, I am still waiting for confirmation of who, and I'm hoping this happens in Knife of Dreams, who murdered Adelaus and Ispan. Ispan got a very violent death. She got like a stake through the heart, like she was a vampire. What?
Well, it's when you gather all the worst people possible who are all sworn to Satan, essentially. Obviously, they're all just self-serving and gonna backstab each other as soon as they get a chance.
But it's also a key theme of the Wheel of Time, Brian. That the shadow, they cannot work together.
For the book, and and the second half will be Knife of Dreams. Even though this is supposed to be part of Winter's Heart, but that's kind of how I'm, that's my lens of how I'm seeing this. That's why, once again, I went directly into Knife of Dreams, and this is going to be part of my intro to Knife of Dreams when we do the Knife of Dream things. But Knife of Dreams, I'm going to try and have more people on, because everybody likes Knife of Dreams. So I have to. Pips wants to do one, Nathan wants to do one, Will wants to do one. I'll get Steve. Steve, if you're still on, I'm sure you'll want to do one. Of course, this is Robert Jordan's final book, final published book by him. So I figured that'll be a finale. That'll be a semi-finale, and then of course the final book will be the finale and all that. And my plan is, once I finish the Wheel of Time, we get through, book club gets through the Memory of Light and the final stuff. I'll do like a one last stream.
And now the continuation.
The sweetness of victory and the bitterness of defeat are alike a knife of dreams. From Fog and Steel by Matic Kamadran. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Wheel of Time Book Club. I know it's only been like, what, a month since I did the last one? Well, I've actually decided, once I finish Crossroads of Twilight, it's going to start right into Knife of Dreams because, like I said in the intro, figure, since Crossroads of Twilight didn't really have a climax, so Knife of Dreams to me is an extension of that. So this is going to be a full house tonight. We got it's not just the usual suspects, but the OGs as well. So I figure I'll start with the usual suspects, and let's bring in, we'll bring in the youngest and probably the nerdiest of all of us, Staple Bo. What's up, Staple Bo? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I don't know what makes me the nerdiest, but
you just are. So
that's fair.
That's just how it is.
I take it as a compliment from you. Okay.
He got through 1 year of school to be here today. So yes. Good job. So, all right. So next up, we have our representative of LDS. And he is currently rereading Knife of Dreams and Wheel of Time. This is his first reread. And he did not finish it, but he still managed to be here today. Let's welcome the one and only, technically Mexican, Alan. How you doing? Thanks for being here.
Good. I'm a little under the weather today, but I'm looking forward to the stream. And I'm ashamed. It's the first time I haven't finished the book for the live stream.
Well,
in my defense, you went through this one pretty quick, so.
Well, actually, I was hoping to finish it quicker. So I'm just, once again, I'm pretty slow when it comes to reading. So, but yeah. So, all right, Alan, thanks for being here. And then the next up is the White Cloak of the Book Cloak of White Cloaks. Let's welcome Lord Dane Bornhold.
Howdy. I have a pipe today. Because I'm original. Everybody else who has a pipe is copying me.
No freaking way. I feel I have my FOMO's kicking in now. Now I want to get a pipe. And I want to smoke.
I don't have any tobacco.
Not really a tobacco. I had a cigar once. And that was like two New Years ago. So yeah. I do want to smoke a cigar again, for sake. Maybe I'll actually smoke it proper this time. So we'll see.
All right. Excited to be here, Brian, but let's bring on all the other people. Otherwise, the intros are going to take like an hour.
Oh, well, thank you. If I remember correctly, Nerdporial is the host, not Lord Dane Bornhold. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have so next up we got two for the price of one. Went to his wedding, and he managed to travel several places to be here tonight. Let's welcome Alex Green, Lord and Lady Balefire.
Appreciate it, man. Glad to be here. This is a banger of a book.
You made it through the slogging.
Yeah, you made it through the slog at the end of Crossroads. This is a good one.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I'll get into it, but it took a little longer than I expected. But it does set up really the finale. It does set up some interesting stuff that I wasn't sure was going to be set up, but now I know why Sanderson, covers certain plot points in the later books, because this book helps set them up. So, all right. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. So it's going to be a crazy panel tonight. So, all right. So we got that out of the way. Now we go with the OGs. The OGs that were with me from the beginning that have been absent for a while because, well, I guess they abandoned. No, I'm kidding. They didn't abandon me. So let's start with the other pipe smoking resident of a certain state called Ohio. Let's welcome Nathan, a person of Manethrin. He watched 2001 5 times to be here tonight.
I did not fucking watch that.
Hey, you don't have to lie to yourself. No, I'm kidding.
See that, Dane? That's what you do with this stuff. Put tobacco in it.
If you say so.
Got crack.
Nope.
Is Dane hitting the giggle
No-
bush?
no,
Is
not
that what's
crack.
going on?
Crack is
Double-blooded.
whack. The great
All
Whitney
right.
Houston said that. Crack
All
is
right,
whack.
thanks. All right, thanks for being here, Nathan. All right, next up, you know him. You know he's the other third of the White Cloak. He's the last third of the White Cloak crew. He flew 1,000,000 miles to be here, and he salted 5 burgers in Chicago to be here. Let's welcome the horseman himself, Pips.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Also, yep, the last and definitely least of the White Cloaks. Good to be here.
Oh yeah.
I hope that my internet is not cutting too much. We have like a crazy lightning storm rolling through right now. So like,
I definitely heard the thunder just now. So yeah.
yeah, so I wouldn't
sound
be
good, though.
super surprised. Like I ran some speed tests before when I was when we were backstage and I was asking about people's connection. It's we'll say from one test to another, I was not getting duplicatable results, so it's not a great sign. But no, things are good. Thanks for having me on. Sorry to have missed the last book. I would have liked to have been on to defend Crossroads of Twilight and say that the slog is a myth; it doesn't actually exist. But I'm here now. So
Story
thanks for
felt
having me.
slow to me, so that's kind of why I don't agree. So, but that's just me.
Well, we're all entitled to be wrong about things, and this is one of those things for you.
Well, that's the nature of our friendship, isn't it? All right, but yeah, man, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. I know you probably have the most stuff going on right now, so I'm grateful you're here. So, and then last up is my live stream bro. Like we've been through Better Call Saul and life together. Let's welcome this guy right here. Let me I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to actually have an intro for him. Here we go.
What are we doing? Like, what is happening?
Hi, Steve.
What is happening? I no. So I, for one, did completely abandon you. I think the Wheel of Time is crap now, and I am protesting. I'm here in protest to shit all over the books.
Actually,
did you
I thought
sign your renew watch show petition?
What's that? Oh, yeah, no, I started a new one. I love the show now. It's my favorite. Avatar 2 and also House of the Dragon are bangers. You should watch The Bear first because it totally didn't fucking suck.
I'm going to say something that's going to hurt my soul to utter these syllables. So I want you all to know the risk of damnation I'm taking upon myself to make this joke. I heard Steve said that the only true RJ is Rafe Judkins. That's actually a direct quote.
100%.
That's a direct quote. And
I sent him a letter and apologized for everything I ever said and asked if I could be his Maxim, and I'm waiting for a response.
Wait, yeah,
I'm hoping to hear from
your
him soon.
500. Your petition that got 500 signatures is what canceled the show.
Well,
so.
His IWAT agent got back to me and said he'll be in touch. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Is that the
mailing
reason
the ticket
that
to Morocco for you?
Is that the reason that Taylor Napier or whatever it is, he's not going to the Wheel of Time show convention thing because he's out and you're in? That's the
No. See, I tracked him down and murdered him so I could be #1 for Rafey Poo. So
all right, hey guys,
he's taking a train out of town. He's not dead.
For the future
His career's just dead.
Future jurors. Future jurors. This is not admissible.
His career is dead. His career, not him.
I don't think you can use allegedly when it's a self-admission.
No, he didn't get read his rights, so it's probably.
I was being, I was out of line. I'm sorry. I'm
right.
not, but
All right, let's get this ball rolling. So, figure we start with. Let me see. Got my little notes here. Figure we start with the prologue. So,
banger.
Best
character shows up.
Next chapter done.
First part of the prologue. Awesome. Galad kills.
Oh yeah.
Eamon Valda.
Fight. Oh, so good.
Trial by combat. I was like, there's a trial by combat in this? No way. And it's a White Cloak thing. So So apparently, Morghese can't keep herself from getting murdered. She got murdered by Ravin books ago. Now she got murdered by Valda. I like, and she survives. She survives the murders.
I mean,
Does
to be fair,
does murder mean something different to you? Because murder means dead.
to be fair,
like what I did to Max. Oh no, sorry.
But no,
Just
no. I
to
mean,
be fair,
it's
you
what,
guys
it's
have
what,
read a
it's what they're saying.
POV chapters, and wouldn't you want to kill Morghese if given the chance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like she's a very killable character. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well,
obviously, some people have, much has been said about her demise.
But honestly, but you know what's funny is we
killable.
haven't seen her since Crown of Swords. We haven't seen Morghese since Crown of Swords.
What are you talking
Sure.
about?
She vanishes after Crown of Swords. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, this Magdan person shows up, and even up to now, Magdan. We don't know who Magdan. We don't know we don't know who Magdan is, or at least the characters don't know who Magdan is. So I mean, I'm curious if that ever gets revealed. That's one thing I'm curious about. Is will Magdan ever get revealed as Morghese? And
this is a much less successful mystery than who killed Asmodean.
All right, okay. Asmodean, I was thinking about.
I feel like there's just no clues on that one.
Okay, Asmodean, the whole mystery thing, was that meant to reveal something else, or was that just let's kill Asmodean because
it was deliberately left vague with several suspects because of the.
And how would that have paid off besides learning who it was? Was
the unfortunate thing
was there something, was there something he knew that's going to get revealed? Like what was the purpose of this mystery?
So the purpose was, I think, tied to the Tamandrid theory, right? That Tame was actually Demandrid in disguise, which has basis in notes and other things, and there's a hell of a lot of hints in Lord of Chaos that that's exactly what's going on. But obviously, if that was Demandrid's evil plan, then Asmodean had to get killed before he introduces himself as Nazrim Taim. Since he reversed course, or he changed course on doing that because the internet in its nascent years figured him out. But the Asmodean murder was ambiguous enough that they could just attribute it to somebody else. And there's a very subtle hint in a later book of who the culprit is. But don't be surprised if you don't get it. People still argue about.
Yeah, it was Lanfear the whole time. You're right.
No,
I mean, I was kind of disappointed that wasn't really followed up on much. Like
because she's still alive, Steve.
Just for something like Rand, Rand had those conversations with him. And then, I initially thought, okay, this motherfucker ran away. I'm going to kill him. But then maybe several books later, it's like, well, nobody's talked to him. I haven't seen him. He hasn't resurfaced. I'm curious what the fuck is going on. Just like him laying in bed, Min's he's got his arms around Min. He's thinking about that. Just randomly one night or something.
Also, I mean, Dane's. I think I agree mostly with Dane, but you also got to remember it's easy to just Asmodean's training Rand, so any bad person that knows that he's training Rand wants him eliminated because Rand doesn't want to be. They don't want them. The more powerful Rand is, the worse it is for them. So that's sort of how it.
But don't they want him running around doing this? Like that's why they've been keeping him alive.
Any Forsaken would kill any other Forsaken if given the chance, and they thought they could get away with it. So if you were another Forsaken, and you saw Asmodean with a halfway shielded, you're gonna be like, oh, guess who's not going to be nameless? That dude.
Plenty of reasons. Yeah, plenty of reasons. But I like Dane's best, but there's plenty of reasons to kill him other than just.
Yeah, and even though this has nothing really to do with this book, the reason why I was thinking about it is because it's one of the first things Brandon Sanderson asked, when he was asked to finish the Wheel of Time. So I figure bring that up, and so I don't have to bring it up next time for Gathering Storm. So. But yeah, so going back, so apparently, we get this trial by combat, and we get to look at these. We get to Jared Beyer comes back, and he's not so bad. He's not a complete asshole this time. And we get Dane, and I'll be honest, I'm reading Dane's stuff. He's like, my God, I'm freaking Dane. That's why I didn't have any friends when I was a kid, because that's how I was in conversations. So I'm telling you guys now. So if you want to make fun of me, make fun of me. So, but yeah, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. So the White Cloaks are, or at least those White Cloaks were allies of the Shan, and then because of the fact they killed Valda and what's his name, Asanawa runs away, they decide to basically leave and go off on their own, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you have this schism between like the regular White Cloaks and the Questioners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's two groups.
But also, I mean, like, let's be real. Nobody really liked Valda all that much. Nobody really liked Asanawa all that much. You know, people liked Galad, so when Galad killed Valda, it was like, oh, thank God, we're done with these fuckers.
So is it because he kills Valda in Trial by Combat that he becomes the Lord Captain Commander?
Yes.
Technically, yes.
They say that kind of after the fight, right? So
no, it's before the fight, because Valda says afterwards. That it happens after, but the hint is before the fight, where Valda says that we're bringing back the old ways and let's do the combat.
That's not explained. That's not explained until right after the fight when Galad wins, and they're like, by the way, everything that was his, titles, down to his boots, it's all yours. And he's like, but that was, you guys were only kidding, right? And they're like, no.
So that happens. They go off, and so they do mention Galad again with Perrin. So I think Perrin and Galad are gonna encounter each other either in the next book or the book after. So I'm curious how that's gonna go. Maybe some of that unresolved stuff that dates back all the way to the Great Hunt. That where Jared Barr's like, oh, it was Perrin that did. He's the one that killed Jeffrey Bornhold and.
Dates back to the Eye of the World, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that too. But it was the Great Hunt that did the whole. They blamed him for what the Shan did.
Yeah, there's that part where Perrin buries his axe directly into an unarmed man's chest. After that guy, I think
it was
killed
justified,
a dog,
man.
Something like that.
Completely justified. Yeah.
That's how I remember.
He's a hero. He's a hero of the alliance.
Dude, you have to. For a second, I thought you were serious. I was like, when did that happen? The Great
true
Hunt?
Wheel of Time is the show. Come on.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Jeffrey Bornhold was a terrible character, right? He was against slavery, right? He was against, a foreigner coming to invade.
Like, yeah, but he killed a dog in self-defense. So. He killed a dog that was trying to rip his throat out.
And then, and then Perrin killed him, murdered him, basically. Yeah, that was bad.
Don't worry,
Bird
apologized. He totally apologized for it. I have no idea why Dane in the show is still
something changing consumer habits happened to Bornhold the Elder.
One thing I did take away from that fight, I liked how they go into how a blade master is determined or something. So there's like a panel of blade masters, and they all have to approve of a new initiate, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's one way, and the other way is just by killing a blade master in single combat.
The easy way, just kill somebody with a blade master sword.
That's what Rand did.
100%.
High Lord Turok.
I still maintain the Shan are the JV blade masters that maybe shouldn't have counted.
Well, that's because they have the fingernails.
Yeah.
Aren't they all great masters too?
But they have a completely different grading system. It's like a Taekwondo. The colors are all mixed up. Or the belts.
So they're not black belts like our Rand.
No.
I think this is a totally valid.
Shanshan blade masters are the Taekwondo.
Well, Turok just got his sword from just cushy training and stuff, not from any actual serious life or death situations, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Turok has a black
I
belt in Shanshan combat, but he'd really only be like an orange belt or a red belt.
Yeah.
And,
I maintain that the difference was not that Turok is some like JV whatever dude. I'm sure he was great, but it's the difference between a guy like have you guys ever seen the show Sharp
no.
with come on with Sean Bean?
Sean
He's
Bean.
playing like a British dragoon in like the Spanish wars and stuff, like fighting in Europe. It's
Okay, yeah, you
it's
have
a
to
sort of
write that
campy
down.
but like great show.
I think it's the one
Um,
movie that he doesn't die in, right?
No, it's a series. It's like a BBC miniseries. Got like 5 seasons or something like that.
Written by
But
Patrick O'Brien.
there's a sort of ongoing thing that is with Patrick O'Brien. This sort of ongoing thing where like at a few times he like duels with sort of like aristocratic gentlemen. It's I think sort of an inspiration behind Nathan Fillion's duel in Firefly because it goes very much the same way. But it could just be people independently thought the same thing. You got a
Indiana
soldier
Jones.
who's just used to like, I kill you as quickly as possible so I can kill the next guy, and then you have a duelist, and like those two things are not the same. And so Rand is over here trying to kill Turok. Turok is over here like kind of scoring points. And at the end of the day, Rand gets to the point in his mind where he's like, I'm willing to have a point scored against me in order to kill you. And Turok underestimates and doesn't see the switch. So, anyway, total sidetrack onto several books ago, but
It is a banger scene.
so good. Honestly, I
Especially
mean,
when he
Robert
shoots all
Jordan.
those fireballs at him.
That was fun.
Yeah, Super
Robert
Mario.
Jordan, for his weird, somewhat poetic use of like animal and other imageries to describe sword fighting techniques, still managed to write some really great combat scenes. Like really, really,
I love it. They're so
it's-
good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really able to envision based on that poetic, the parting of the silk or something, or the
Parting of the
fly,
silk.
or the cougar flies over the nest like the show
There's a
did.
guy on YouTube that has an entire channel. He's like a martial artist, and he does like I'm going to think of like moves for these things. That's really cool. But yeah, you know what? I'm almost done reading the Fallon trilogy. There's the Fallon Pride, the Fallon Blood, the Fallon Pride. Robert Jordan writing as Reagan O'Neill. This was his like spicy, like historical, like I don't know really. It's sort of
Otis
like a,
Ripper.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
that's
did
a good
he
way to
write
put it.
Romanticy? Did Robert Jordan write Romanticy? Son of a bitch.
He did not. No, it's like I love these books because it's like there is one thing that comes through them, and that is that he really loves this historical period and he loves the history of it. And when I was reading it, it's like I really got the feeling that this is a man that has seen combat and he knows how to write it. And I really appreciated how he wrote it in like the Glad fight because that was one of my favorite fights, honestly. And I just really enjoyed it because I don't know, it's like it's somebody that knows, has been there, done that, has seen it. And I've read 2 like really crappy series right now. It's James Islington's An Echo of Things to Come, and there's 3 books in that series, and then this other one I'm writing that I started reading. I'm stopping because it's so bad, but it's I think his name's Jonathan Gwynn or something like that. And it's like they both rip off Robert Jordan really bad with trying to come up with names for these martial art forms, and they just don't get it. They just don't. They can't do what Robert Jordan does because it's very obvious they don't have the experience. So that's why I like this part.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the coming books with Galad and the White Cloaks. So all right. So now,
if I could add one thing to that. So
okay,
to
we got a lot of stuff
Robert
to cover.
Jordan.
We got.
I know, but this is about this book. To the point where Robert Jordan really knows how to write combat. I think that his writing of Ingtar's campaign, and I mean stuff in previous books as well. But I think Ingtar's campaign has all of the elements that anybody who has either studied, a lot of like combat memoirs, those types of things, or has participated in combat in any context. I think they would recognize a lot of the elements of the the simultaneous like knowledge and also confusion of the observation that's happening. So like there's things where he's like basically watching things and it's like, okay, here's all the stuff that's happening, here's everything that I know, and then it starts kind of branching and going into different directions of things that like, well, that's not what's supposed to be happening. And his cycle of reasoning through what it is and then reasoning through the like, here's the contingencies that I'm going to have to do is very much what they teach at the Citadel to go back to Robert Jordan where he was a teacher and graduate, right?
That's cool. I didn't know that.
So it's
All right,
it's
all right,
I
all
think
right.
it's very
Gotta-
apparent
gotta
that he
keep
knows what
moving.
he's
We gotta
doing.
keep moving, Pips. Sorry. All right. Next up is Pips. It's your favorite. Great captain, Rodell. So apparently, Rodell Iturralde is basically been attacking Shan Chan villages, cities, taking them out, and he's basically fighting his way from Terabon all the way back to Eridomon. So I forgot exactly. I forgot exactly what he was doing. Basically, just ambushing and charging. Basically, archers taking Damani and Sildam out.
I
If
mean,
I remember correctly,
all the
they
men.
don't they run there's riders and they run over there are people that get run over. They don't get out of the road in time.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember exactly what this campaign was. I read this on the plane.
Yeah, it's a series of small raids. He's only by one of them, but he makes the mental note that it's happening all across the country. So they're basically attacking all the supply depots and stations. The Shanshan think that they have Terabon under control, and he's basically lighting a fire across the whole country.
It's all the Dragon Sworn, right? The not the non-Messima Dragon Sworn.
Yeah.
The Eridomon Dragon Sworn that
The
we haven't
real
really
Dragon Sworn?
seen much of. This happened right after Great Hunt, so we haven't seen much of that conflict. Now that's one of the things I kind of wish we saw more of.
The Shanshan were able to take over Terabon quite easily because Terabon had basically plunged into chaos because of the Dragon Sworn. But now what's going on is basically he's attacking Shanshan supply depots for the most part. And the people he's with are also free Teraboners. So there's plenty of Damani, plenty of Almuth Plain people, but they're going into Terabon and they're just basically starting a guerrilla war campaign.
I see. So
The idea being that the Shanshan are trying to push east, and by cutting off the supply depots in Terabon, they can't get supplies east, so the armies can't advance east. It's a delaying tactic.
Incidentally, but Rodel Iturralde's main motivation are the orders that he thinks came from the king, but actually came from Graendal, just to cause chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm curious how all that's going to play out. So next up we have oh, look who's back. Hi, Lady Suroth. Our what do you call it? What did Shanshan call those people? Dark Friends. What do they call them? Athaan Shadar. Athaan Shadar. That was a nice new word to learn.
Yep.
So apparently, so she is basically after Tuon. Apparently, she gets a call from a certain Semiraj, and Semiraj says, "Hey, I murdered the entire. What do you call it? Shanshan, Shanchan royal family. So Tuon's the only one left, basically. So, so I was like, okay. I thought that was like, it's kind of like, it made me think of, I was like, okay, this is a different take on, a chosen, allegedly, appearing to one of their servants. So made me think of how Masana uses a veil, some type of veil to disguise herself when she's talking to Alviarin. I forgot she used like moonlight or something to do this. Here, Semiraj is using fire, and obviously a lot more sadistic, a lot more violent. So I was like, okay, if Semiraj is appearing in this prologue, I'm assuming she's going to appear later on as maybe a big bad, kind of like how Ravin appeared early on in Fires of Heaven, and he ended up being the big bad. So we have that, and of course, there's a lot of other introductions. Tylee Kurgan, they talk about her. I liked her stuff with Perrin. I can't wait to get to that. Then there's also I'm trying to remember what else there is. I'm assuming because of what happens at the end of this book, that I'm assuming we don't see Leandrin again in the series.
But she's the main character.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah, he got that from George R. R. Martin, having the balls to kill off your main character. Fucking joke.
So I forget. Like if you collar Leandrin, does that help at all? Like, can she channel, or is that the shield still going to hold, or something like that?
I think it still holds. The issue that she has is basically, she has been fully shielded by Mogedion, I believe, and it's inverted. So people can't even see. They might recognize her by her face because she hasn't been stilled or anything like that. So if they know the Aes Sedai look, she might be in trouble. But yeah, she effectively can't channel, and yeah, she also has compulsion, I believe, to stay alive, so she can never kill herself.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, she comes back for like half a chapter at one point to basically just get shit on.
I think it's right here.
And it was right here. It was actually right here.
Is it this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Brandon Sanderson touched her with a 10-foot pole. She's totally afraid of her chin.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So.
Cheekbone.
Yeah. So that's pretty much High Lady Seraph. So she is supposed to basically have Tuon basically killed and spread a rumor that Tuon is fake, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, she's explaining with that like the Tuon that's with Matt is fake, and that the real one that Semiraj is disguised as is the actual Tuon.
And this is the first time out of 2 times we hear "Let the Lord of Chaos rule." So, every time I hear that, I either think either the Dark One, or I think of Rand being Rand, basically, and just doing what he's doing, and that's why the Forsaken have kept him around.
Yep, I did like that this Forsaken meeting though. They have I forget which one of them. One of them has like the realization, like, man, there sure are a lot fewer of us than when we started.
Yeah. So going forward, all right. So let's now we're gonna, because the rest of the prologue covers tower stuff. I figure we start with Tower Arc.
Oh man, I'm gonna go get a drink.
No, we need you here to name all of the Aes Sedai.
Yeah, because I don't remember.
I'll be honest,
I don't remember shit. Like I forgot.
First start with all of the Aes Sedai, starting with the letter S.
I literally forgot who Bayanin was. So there's a chapter with Bayanin.
Same, buddy.
In this, and then she shows up in the Egwene's chapter 24. I'm like, who the fuck is this again? And I was like, I'm like, I can't look her up because I'm gonna find out stuff that I shouldn't find out. So I just. Yeah,
Bayanin is the one who leaves the rebel camp and goes over to Elida, right?
Yes.
Maybe I should just, Pips. Maybe I should just text you and say, "Who is this character? Who is this character?" I mean, you're not going to respond. But...
With it, honestly.
I mean, I'm sort of torn. On one hand, I think that you've had a criticism before that like oh, there's a glossary in like whatever his name is, he who shall not be named books. Um, but realistically, like every single time I've been reading one of these and I'm like, who is this person again? I feel like relatively quickly contextual clues like
Yeah.
gets me there.
Yeah.
It's almost never where like something's happening and like at the end of the chapter I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. It's always like, you're reading for a couple pages and you're like, who is this bitch? And then something will happen and you'll be like, oh shit, that's right. Okay, cool.
Well, there have been times where I've mixed up characters. Like there's this one character, Sarand or something, and I thought she was a dark friend. So I thought she was just planted trying to cause discord in the thing. She's not. She wasn't a dark friend. She was just one of Aramilla's bitches or something.
I'm gonna anger you here, but this is, I think, a real deep and successful plot that Robert Jordan pulls. That's the verisimilitude of the whole process, is that you're over here just like, who are these 1,000 bitches that are all like running around doing stuff? And Robert Jordan's like, see, you can't keep them apart either, right? Like it's just like real life where you're like, you're in a room of people you've met like 100 times, and you're like, I have no idea who any of these clowns are, but I've worked with them for too long to ask.
Dude, you're not wrong there. I have this thing called reason. I get it, but it's still not fun. I can still complain.
Honestly, man, my best advice is when you're dealing with the White Tower, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, that was my attitude reading this. I'm just like, who is this? Don't care. I'll just keep reading.
Yep, that's the exact right answer.
Like our horseman said right here. Maybe there's contextual clues. Okay, he might be right.
I'm just saying, just like the alleged slog that doesn't exist. Robert Jordan is so masterful.
The story slowed down.
He's so masterful that he includes as the spice of life other parts of things that exist in the world. Like
4 or 5 books it took to wrap up stuff that started either in Crown of Swords or Lord of Chaos or a bulk of it from Path of Daggers.
So but like, look at real life, man. Like the War of the 100 Years took 100 fucking years. So damn long.
That was hundreds of years ago. This is the 20. This is the 20.
That was the
Robert Jordan's
4 or 5
Robert Jordan's
Crown of Swords.
117 years.
Robert Jordan's speed running this shit. It took like a winter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we finally got that. I mean, the reason why this book is rated so high is because of the fact that a lot of stuff finally gets resolved. So
no, it's because it's amazing and awesome.
And a lot of stuff gets resolved. So, but yeah,
get another drink if we're gonna start talking shit about the friggin' Knife of Dreams over here.
All I'll add is I definitely couldn't remember which one was Galad and which one was Gawain.
What?
I'm sorry.
No.
What?
I knew the difference between the two characters. I just couldn't remember which one was named which.
What? Kind of similar names, guys.
They're Gawain, Galad.
I
knew, like,
I'm
if I
so
was
upset right now.
I could describe the differences between both characters, but I couldn't remember which one had which name. And when I tried to Google it to figure out, I got massive spoilers, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
Galad is the one on the spectrum, and Gawain is Gawain's the Morin.
Also,
I can tell you the difference now, but
It's
when
like
I was
a different kind of autism.
But when I was reading through the first time, I couldn't remember which one was which.
For anybody who ever struggles with this, remember like those little magazines that used to be like in the dentist office when you were a kid? They were like, Goofus and Gallant. Everyone remember that?
No.
Yes, I do remember. Yeah.
Gowan is fucking Goofus, and you'll never forget them ever again.
So, all right.
Anyway, back to Gwen being tortured.
Back to spanking.
Back to and we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Well, actually, no, we are kind of there yet.
Yeah, we're right there.
Wait, yeah, you're right.
We're at the start of the
always
spanking.
comes back.
We're starting with Pivara. So Pivara and Ciane and a bunch of other what they call Aes Sedai. They're called Aes Sedai. Other Aes Sedai are basically looking for treason.
Temporal's real.
No, shut up. I didn't even have a drink of water. So so they're looking for treason as instructed by Elida, and they come across. Oh wait, there's black. They find out the Black Aja truly exists. They're hiding this one woman. What's her name? What the hell's her name? Don't care. Talene. There we go. Talene. Talene and they decide, they're like, okay, Galena's a bitch. Yes, we know Galena is a bitch and she's gone. Yeah, so they hire they hire or elect a new sitter or highest. Is highest and sitter the same thing? I'm taking it's not. Of course not.
It's not. One's an Aja title, and they're not necessarily sitters, but the sitters should answer to their Aja's highest.
Yeah, the highest are like the leaders within specific Ajas. Sitters are just members of like the
highest.
But it's only the red.
They're not all called highest. Yeah, it's
right.
just
The reds call it highest. The greens call their like leader the battle captain.
Captain
or something
general.
Something ridiculous.
That's what the Shan call their highest.
Yeah, no, I think they call it Captain General and the Green Aja as well. The yellows are like First Weaver or something like that, and First Reasoner is the whites, because literally even in their naming they are the fucking worst. The whites are the most worthless Aja, and that's saying something because the greens exist. Sorry.
They were
spend the entire rest of this episode on this.
There was a nice little passage with the whites walking around. I think it was a Egwene's chapter. They were talking about like what's going on with the world, and with especially all the indoor places. All the indoor places are being rearranged like it's a video game. Like it's one of those video game. What do you call those? Where everything, that besides the point.
A video game.
Yeah, there's video games where they like with a dungeon, like for instance, like
procedural generated.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So stuff like that. So that's basically what that's basically what all the world of Randland right now, that Tarman Guidance coming. So not only is everybody seeing dead people, which started in last book, everybody's used to it now. So everybody's seeing dead people. Nobody's afraid anymore. And then people are getting lost inside, complicated buildings indoors. I'm wondering if that applies to outside too. Do people get lost going places outside, or is it only reserved for inside?
Well, I mean, if you pick up a land tile and swap it with another one in the middle of the forest, does anybody notice, or is it just like
They do if it happened to be a village from Shiota.
This is true.
There was a lot of noticing that was happening in that certain land tile. It wasn't even an urban land tile. Still a lot of noticing happening.
The funniest part about that plot point is, and I say this as an Egwene simp, is that Egwene totally gets mixed up in her own castle. And then, like a couple chapters later, Rand goes to Tyr, and they've already like figured out how to deal with it. They have like guided tours. Like, hey, can we give you a guide, because the hallways keep mixing up. It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They have it figured out, and Egwene is.
It's because Robert Jordan. It's because Robert Jordan is a careful observer of the human condition.
Yes. Yeah.
So is this like, has Egwene been captured at this point?
Yeah, that's the end of the last book.
Yeah, that's the end of the
book.
Yeah, she turned some big ass chain into Quendiar, and then some bitch blew up her boat, and she survived because she's the main character in this story. Did you guys know that she's the main character?
Can we just talk about the fact that after the fact she realized that Liana or Liane or whatever, Liane Sharif, she realizes after the fact that like, oh, inverting my weaves would have been smart.
Oh yeah,
You
that's right.
fucking
Yeah,
idiots.
Sparing a thought for all the people who rowed her out there and now drowned in the cold river might also make be a good look. But
No, she doesn't give a shit about those people.
No, doesn't give a
obviously.
shit at all.
So I figure since we're on the topic of Egwene, well, Egwene gets captured, and then she is basically subjected to Katarina basically smacking her and slapping her the entire way to the tower. And then when she gets to the tower, it gets to the point where Katarina's having so much fun smacking the shit out of Egwene to the point where other sisters are like, okay, you gotta stop. And she's like, no, I don't want to fucking stop.
This all just reminds me of the Monty Python bit where Gwen
Castle
goes into the
Anthrax.
castle with all the nuns.
So
It
basically,
is-
Gosh, the series would have been like, this book would have gone from A tier to S tier if Castle Anthrax had been involved.
oh, naughty Zoot. Zoot would be a good name for an Aes Sedai, though.
So
Same with Piglet.
So what can I say? The basically the entire Egwene arc is basically summed to she tries to so they don't execute her, they don't punish her in the way she expects. They end up turning her into a novice again, and because she keeps telling everybody she's the Amaryllis Sea, she won't curtsy or anything. She continually gets beaten by Sylviana for starters. Doesn't she use like a shoe or something or a
slipper?
Chocolate justice.
and so every time she encounters her, she ends up earning another beating. So she gets beaten 3 times a day before each meal, so she can't sit at all. And I think that's the other punishment. She has to stand during the meals. And basically she's like, hey, she tells all the Aes Sedai outside, she's like, bitches, leave me alone. I'm staying. I'm going. I think I will do better at doing civil disobedience than you bitches rescuing me. So that's what happens.
The Rosa Parks of spanking.
One of the things that I find so funny about this book and the next book is that
There's so much spanking in it.
they act like, Egwene is going through this imaginable torture, and really she's basically just getting slapped by a 100-pound woman. Meanwhile, everybody tries to touch Rand's mind and instantly goes falling to the ground and shrieking in agony because he's in so much pain.
That's still hurting you from the first book? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but shut up and forget about that. This is
that's what he does,
right?
So
right.
So I'm trying to see if there's anything else worth talking about. Oh yeah,
Brian, you noted
not.
You noted that this was one there was a long ass chapter, and I just wanted to let you know I looked up the different chapter lengths of the whole series. You're correct.
There's
The
40
honey
pages.
chapter
Yeah.
is the longest single chapter that Robert Jordan wrote in the Wheel of Time.
How does it compare with the last battle?
Not right. Because
You mean
RJ
the
didn't
book,
write
The
that.
Last Battle?
I know. I'm just curious because among all of the other things that we can say stylistically and all sorts of other things different between Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson, yeah, that was a choice, right?
Yeah, the last battle's 5 times longer than Honey and the Tea.
Oh, good.
But Honey and the Tea stayed in Egwene's POV for the whole time. Right? There are other long chapters, but it doesn't
so
feel
it felt
as long
as the last battle.
Yeah.
The last battle jumps so much.
I felt
call it a chapter.
I'll be honest, that felt like my last battle. I was like, that was a fight to get through, to read.
So I'm
Stay still.
gonna say this.
1,000 words of Egwene doing nothing.
I'm
And
gonna
then she gets
I'm gonna
honey
say
in her
this,
tea.
and
That was
I
the
will
payoff.
probably deny having said it later, but you guys, I suppose, can use this audio visual evidence against me. I like don't even mind the Egwene chapters in Knife of Dreams. Like I actually like I think
like
they're
that.
actually like I like the payoff to the Egwene saga, the
Yeah,
Salad
it's
Art
not bad.
nonsense.
I
Like
agree.
it actually like I'm good with where Egwene ends up. I think that there's a lot of stuff in there that like you're just like really like she's like don't rescue me and like all this stuff. But like it's it,
There's a
on a
payoff.
certain
Like,
level, a
honestly.
lot of it makes sense, and I actually think that it is what it was built to be. I think that you're right that like there's some silliness where it's like, oh, she's getting spanked by 100-pound woman. It's like, well, just allow that to be the one leap you take in the sort of storytelling. And the rest of the stuff is actually good. The political intrigue and stuff in the tower, like I think it actually works out fine here. It's like how long it took to get here that is the part that
Mhm.
makes me kind of hate the Elaine or the Egwene story arc. Sorry, I said hate the and then female story arc, and I just my mind automatically went to Elaine. So
I'm with you on that one, Pips. The problems that you have with the previous couple books is that things are not moving anywhere. This book, all the arcs actually move in a direction and have some sort of finality with them. It's to a certain degree or another.
And after reading Crosses of Twilight, reading a few chapters of Egwene getting her ass beat is like it's a little cathartic, right? Like it's
ain't
like, let's be
wrong.
honest.
Man, I was so conflicted. On one hand, Delight is such a bitch, but on the other hand, so is Egwene. You two
trick is to
fucking
root for
deserve each
Sean.
other.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only thing that accomplished here is Egwene managed to get a few novices to basically get her tray of food and put a seat out for her. So, so her civil disobedience is making a little progress, and that's pretty much it. With
Riveting.
a lot of it is. I believe a lot of the payoff for Egwene and the tower is going to be in the next book.
Yeah.
So
I think
this
Sanderson actually does Egwene justice. I think the Sanderson stuff does the Egwene arc justice. It's one of the few parts of
Didn't RJ write a lot of Egwene stuff for
Oh God, it wouldn't surprise me.
For Memory of Light? That's not what I heard. That's what I read.
For a Memory
I'll
of
put-
Light or for the Gathering Storm?
Well, Memory of Light was what he was writing towards. So
I'll put it this way: the ultimate end of Egwene is not what Robert Jordan apparently left in his notes. That was a decision made by Sanderson and Maria and Harriet. And I think that it was.
the epilogue was written.
No, but
The
Brian,
epilogue
what-
was sure.
Yeah,
It
but
all
Brian,
makes sense when you read it.
What you're
It all
saying
makes sense
is,
when you read it.
What Robert Jordan left behind was all A Memory of Light because the 3 books that come now were all planned to be one big book. So it makes sense that if Robert Jordan was writing up until the moment that he passed, he probably had some things completed, but it was probably geared mostly towards the early part of what ended up being the Gathering Storm. And that's a very Egwene focused book.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say counter to that is, man, Egwene in the Gathering Storm reads a lot like a lot of Sanderson main characters.
Yeah, that too.
Well,
yeah.
Does she have a
So
troll
this is-
vagina? I just want to know. Okay.
This is and this is a huge
that's the
side
through
track.
line between all of his characters.
And
Yes,
this
that is
a
actually.
huge-
They all have troll vaginas, every single one of them.
That and multiple personalities.
Yeah, Egwene is like 4 people, right? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
So huge sidetrack, but I think it's worth noting if we're just even mentioning that, like what Sanderson wrote and what Jordan wrote.
Yeah, I was going to bring up something.
That in the editing process, Sanderson has said that Harriet told him to essentially use so some of Sanderson's writing got edited to be closer to Jordan's writing, and some of Jordan's writing, the scenes that he had written that were like mostly complete and ended up being in the actual final text, were apparently edited to change to be more like Sanderson's writing. So the two authors were a little bit harmonized together. And
That
then
does
what
hurt,
what
though.
Dane said about how the the Egwene chapters are early in the Gathering Storm. I don't know because the book was split. I don't know that really means that Robert Jordan had actually written much about that. From what I understand, he wrote a lot of notes and a lot of individual scenes that were like all the way out to the very, very end. So I don't know. And it is a little hard and sometimes frustratingly hard as a reader to like look at the final books and try and figure out what things Robert Jordan actually left written, because the decision was made to have Robert Jordan's words sometimes actually changed to match Sanderson's writing style. So
this may be controversial, but I think that was probably a good choice to make the book itself more less.
It would be more jarring if you have like a chapter
Yeah.
full of pure Sanderson and then something
Yeah.
good that follows, and then you're back to pure Sanderson.
yeah, but I think Sanderson should have. I personally think Sanderson should have
Yeah.
tried to write more like RJ rather than write like himself and then change RJ's existing writing to match. That's just
Unless
my
he
We're
personal
probably getting a little
real
off
side road.
topic here.
Very.
Yeah, sorry, we're in the weeds.
Brian is over there sitting there thinking like, am I gonna have to tell him to shut the hell up twice?
All right.
3 times,
I
4
give
times
you
in one
this-
stream?
Well, no, you interrupted me the last time. That's why I got a little upset. So my
How
bad.
about the
My
Matt,
bad
the
on that.
Matt arc in this book? Like, this is probably where I'm like, I liked Matt, and this is where I stopped liking Matt. Like,
What?
I don't know.
What?
I hate the 2-on arc. Like, I just hate it.
How?
I
Come
hate
on.
it
One of the
best
because,
love
like,
interest in the
I'm just
series.
going
Shut
through
up.
this, and it's like,
What?
he basically, like, gets his
joking.
2-on, and he's like, I have to marry this shit because, like, prophecy sides, and it just doesn't seem like very Matt. Like, he's always bulking against what everyone expects him to do. So when I read this the first time, I was like, what? Why is he doing this? This person is evil, and he doesn't, like, like
Why
the
is she
Sean
evil?
Shan or anything. Because she's a slaver. It seems like this is mentioned a whole bunch of times and how bad the Sean Shan are. And you just don't like her?
I am gonna, I'm just gonna say here that there's like the one great sin that everyone just like, that's why the Shan are evil. But at the
I
same
can
time,
list
like,
a lot of reasons why they're evil.
but at the same time,
It's
right?
Pips. Let me take this. So the Sean Chan, based on what I've been reading, I mean, they're basically the people like don't really notice them. Like they're there and they allow, like, especially the commoners to continue doing what they're doing. And I don't know if this means anything, but even the frickin' Tuathan, who are, they normally fly, or they normally go, run away from anything. They usually they usually stay away from everybody. They're actually going to Sean Chan territory based on what they've heard. Like, we'll be safe with them. So that tells you something about the Sean Chan. And then based on a lot of the characters we're meeting, especially like Ty Lee and Furyk and all that, I mean, they are working with our heroes. So there are some bad apples like High Lady Suroth and all that, but
the Shan Chan is basically like, what if the deep state was like actually good for people, but you'd have to accept a little bit of slavery.
That's what I'm like.
Nobody's
likes slavery.
It's like that what was said many moons ago, and nobody's perfect. And we did talk about this during the Great Hunt streams. You guys kind of foreshadowed this, and I was like, and I was of the same opinion that Lady B is, excuse me, because all that we saw the Shan Chan in the second book was aggressiveness and them collaring people, and then just killing off a whole bunch of White Cloaks. So I mean, they were.
What? Look, I can forgive slavery, but I can't forgive Sean just being incredibly annoying all the time and bitchy.
But again,
their collectivism, like the case system, the
trains are on.
The trains do run on time. I will give them that.
All right, let's move. Let's keep moving. So, all right,
Yeah.
so
Before we get banned, let's keep moving.
Man,
Yeah,
if
Or-
like if you're a Kareed all of a sudden dropped like an El Dulce salute, like
was there anything about Pivara that I didn't bring up? Oh yeah, didn't they? Don't they have like a plant? They have like someone planted so that Elida they can be pillow.
They're going to the Black
friends.
Tower.
oh yeah, they're trying to honeypot Elida with her former lover.
Yeah, and then
God, of all the plots that go fucking nowhere.
Bayonin comes in, and ruins it and says, "Oh, this bitch is this bitch is trying to honeypot you." It's like,
It's a
okay,
bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for
I'm sure that subplot was highly instrumental to reaching the last battle.
And of course, there's a lot of conversation in this book about bonding. So Lord of Chaos was big on that. Well, now this book really focused a lot on Aes Sedai and Ashaman bonding. So we had that debacle that happened in, what was it, Path of Dragons or Path of Daggers or Winter's Heart, where what was her name? What the fuck's her name? The one that Elida sends to take out the Black Tower.
Oh, Toveen Ghazal.
Yeah, and they end up Logain ends up bonding all of them or something.
Mhm.
I love that storyline.
Yeah, so they have that. So Logain is doing all that shit, and
It's the best. I love that storyline so much. I like Logain.
Brown
He's my
Sister
guy.
was really into it.
Pivar's like,
Yeah,
we have to
guys.
do this. Pivar's like, we have to do this too. Red Aja, we're gonna step up and we're gonna go. So she ends up going to the Black Tower, and the Black Tower was already there's already this palace was already built within like a few months from Lord of Chaos. So Lord of Chaos was just a farm. Now you got this palace. Was it all built by, like, can you build with the one power really quickly compared to standard construction?
Oh yeah, and remember,
practice?
men are stronger in Earth, which is the power that they'd be using. So that's
Okay.
Right.
Women can, other than Egwene, like, who's uniquely talented or strongly talented with Earth, but that's like one of the men's main power, Earth and fire. So it's just, oh, we need a big ass palace. Let's just build one.
And so we get to go there, and I'm skipping all the way to the very end. We get to see Mazrim Time again, and he's just like, he's got like hundreds. He's got like this big throne room. He's got hundreds of Ashaman on each side, and he's sitting there like he's freaking Skeletor or something. And he's just like, every time somebody speaks out of line with the power, is he dead? Leave him there, just pure evil at this point. So I'm curious. So I'm curious where the Black Tower stuff is going to go. I'm assuming it's going to be at the very end with Tarman Gaiden or something.
It's a little before that.
Yeah, you get a little bit in the three
Yeah,
books.
you get some. Yeah.
But
It kind of
you already
progressively
got a
gets
hint
more and
at
more.
it.
And that's
What
when
was going
the
on.
second time we hear "Let the Lord of Chaos rule," because she's like, Pivar's like, hey, we're here. We want to bond. We want you to bond because you bonded us, so we want to even it out. We're going to bond you. And he's like, sure, very well. I'm like, what? Yeah, very well. Let the Lord of Chaos rule, bitch.
I do
I don't know
love
what that means,
Pavara
but-
walking in on Taim doing the "Be Prepared" thing from the Lion King and being like, something doesn't feel right here. And it's like, yeah, homeboy is evil monologuing on a black throne. Like, what do you think is going on?
I'm in danger.
Just because somebody is in a spiky black fortress doesn't mean they're evil. All right.
Yeah, these survival instincts of Aes Sedai leave much to be desired.
Yeah.
It's the pride, They're very arrogant people.
Like Red Aja should really be a little more attuned to this, you would think.
Right.
So I'm curious, how many are in the Black Tower now? It seems like there's lots of Ashaman, lots of Ashaman ranked Ashaman.
Yeah.
Well, they're also less prejudicial than the Aes Sedai, right? The Aes Sedai refuse to admit anyone like older than 16, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to make a show joke and say that they refuse to let in poor people.
No,
That
no.
too.
I mean, like for the very first time in this book, the Aes Sedai are finally like letting older women join, and that's because of Egwene, right?
Kicking and screaming against their will.
Yeah. But the men are smarter, so they don't do that.
Yeah, and they let
Look,
him do
Brian,
he's empowered
strength-wise-
in 2 years and stuff. So
Strength-wise, Taim's got hundreds. They've got they could rival the White Tower already, and it's been only a couple months. So yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm curious how. I do not know what ultimately happens with Mazrim Time and the Black Tower. So, I mean, there are spoilers that I do know, but that is one of the things I do not know. So,
Well, you
like I
you
said,
already do know that he's a dark friend, right? Because
of Winter's Heart.
Winter's Heart,
Yeah. So, Winter's Heart, and then of course, I don't know if there was wasn't there something in book 10 that he did.
I mean,
He's book 10 when he's changing the names that Rand once arrested. Like he says that they want to kill like Rishma and stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Loghain's warning Rand about him, and Rand's like, "Well, I gotta deal with the Sean Chan first. Sorry, bro." So
I was going to say him loudly pronouncing "Let the Lords of Chaos rule" at the end of this one's a pretty.
Nah, man, that's like
Pretty
a
good
common
hint, too.
saying that people just be saying that. That's just kind of people on the street just be saying that.
So we do get some follow up. We do get some progress with who murdered Anaya, who murdered Chiron, and all those other missing servants in the Saladar Aes Sedai camp, basically. So basically, we find out. Ramonda basically finds out from a certain Narishma, and I forget what the name of the person he's bonded to, the Aes Sedai he's bonded to. But they basically go there and they basically say, "Oh, we cleanse Sidene and there's a female Forsaken that channels Sidene," and then they're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
And this person is connected to, what's her name, Makra or Makanda or something, the woman that gets tortured by Semiraj in the Lord of Chaos. Makanda Makara or
Capriana Macandas, I think it was. Capriana.
Anywho,
Capriana, yeah. All right.
Basically, Narishma shows up and goes like, "Man, where's all that Sidene coming from?" And they go,
"Oh yeah, that's right. That's right."
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And he goes, "Wait, you knew they were killed by the One Power, and you knew you weren't sensing Sidar, and it never occurred to you that this might be something else?" Like,
Narishma's a more worthwhile character than anybody in the Saladar plot.
No, they were testing for residues. They thought it was an Ashamon, and then the biggest problem with this whole scene, honestly, Brian, was that Narishma says Sidene is clean, and they just basically, okay, whatever. They don't even stop to discuss that. The biggest earth-shattering metaphysical news to ever happen.
Well, plus
doesn't Narishma get pissed at them as well because they disrespect Evan Hopwell or something?
Yeah.
Well, that too, but they all felt it go down. That font of power. They all felt it from everywhere. And he goes, "Oh yeah, that was Rand and Nynaeve cleaning Sidene," and they're like, "You're full of crap." Like,
maybe I'm misremembering. I haven't actually, so I'm also not fully complete on my reread of this since Brian, you actually did do this reread, or you did this read way faster than I expected. So maybe I'm misremembering, but when Narishma is like, Sidine's clean, don't they like really only believe it once his Aes Sedai is like he's telling you like, yes, it's also clean.
Most of them still don't believe it.
So they don't actually believe him. They believe her, which makes sense on why they're like,
they
and
sort
moving
of,
on. Like
if
this
I
is
remember,
just
she believes it because she's bonded to him. They sort of believe it, even though she says it, and are still skeptical all the way
Yeah.
to the end of the series.
I feel like we don't get confirmation of it
Yeah.
until we have that like POV chapters, like with like Sanders and stuff. That is really just awful, and I hate it. But they keep jumping POVs. This is what he feels. This is what she feels, and then they kind of confirm it. So
I do think that they went and explored Shatter Logoth and went, man, there's a mile-long, mile-deep crater where Shatter Logoth was. Like,
Kind of where we
I'm sure that's
felt all that
natural.
magic coming from. Gee, I wonder what happened.
Yeah, you're right, Tick. No,
It
that
must
was
be a
natural
forsaken
chasm.
plot, and that's why they need to go bond Ashaman.
Giant
so that they
toilet.
could
That's what it is. Giant
expand
toilet.
their circles beyond 13, which is their master plan, and they're sticking to it.
I forget how. I'm trying to remember how Ramonda manages to piece together the information, because it had something to do with they were connected to, because they were connected to the Anaya and Chiron were connected to that.
Cabriana, that was Halima's cover story. So it was Semirhage it was Semirhage that killed her, but it was to prepare the cover story for Arangar, aka Halima.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot how she was brought. Never mind. Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, okay, you were Cabriana's secretary. I never knew that, and so basically she was offing Aes Sedai that could basically blow her cover. That's all she was doing. That's why Anaya and Karen Stang got murdered.
Oh, okay. We did talk about Elida. There's nothing really much here, I don't think.
Nope.
Hey, what chapter do we find
imagine
out?
being killed because you know the backstory on an Aes Sedai in too much detail.
Nothing.
Like, I mean, really, really like the worst way to die.
Yeah, that's bad.
Steve, do you want to repeat that question?
What'd you say? I don't.
You want to repeat
I said
that
what?
question for the group?
I don't remember saying anything, Stable, but I think you're loaded. Stop, lay off the hashish, buddy. Just get back into the books.
All right, so let's see.
I think what Steve said was 10% of the Damani commit 50% of the crime.
True. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Go Sean Chan. Slavery rules. Yes, that's what it said.
Yeah, we're really trying to get banned now. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest.
Chan are my favorite. I love them.
Is there anything? Is there anything else worth talking about with the Aes Sedai?
Hey, is it like? Oh, that's Aes Sedai, because it was like, this is where like Fail finally gets back. They finally get her back, right?
Who?
Yes.
That's the parent storyline. We got a long way to go.
Yeah.
The parent.
We're not there yet. I'm sorry.
Karen, I'm saving for last. So
that's Ryan's favorite.
As did Robert Jordan.
So the so I don't think there's a lot that's being set up for Gathering Storm. Okay, I think we're good there. I don't think there's much else to talk about with that. So
let's go to Elaine.
Figuring out, let's go to Elaine. So Elaine's much better in this book.
Can we not say we did?
Yeah, we can skip that. That's fine.
How many people have died?
No one but Dane will be upset.
So one of my favorite moments in this was actually in the Elaine chapter. I'm sure you can guess which one it was. It was the baddest ass part. I think the most badass thing I've seen in this entire series. Maybe because I love revenge. Adelaus, gift from Adelaus. Yeah.
All right, so I should have known that it was going to be an Elaine chapter, but not actually anything done by or said by Elaine.
Oh, absolutely not. I'll be honest. I was not expecting Van Dien to get revenge like that.
That's pretty
oh my god! Like you saw my reaction. You saw my reaction on the Discord, dude. That was awesome.
I mean, it's a plot that actually has a payoff. Oh my god!
But yeah, gift from Adelaus. I was like, oh my god. I was hoping like Adelaus says hello or something like that. Yeah, Elaine puts herself in her arc starts with in this book starts with Aramilla, who I don't really give a shit about. I don't really give a shit about this whole Aramilla and Andorran succession because I know how it's going to end. So it's
totally unnecessary.
So long story short, Aramilla attacks. They thanks to Brigida and a bunch of sellswords and all that, and mercenaries and the guard or stuff. They're able to fight them off and all that. And at the very end, they managed to surround them, going through the Farmading Gate. And of course, our young noblemen, the 4 kids, I think. Well, yeah, 4 kids were there, and they were like, "Yay!" They pretend they're wearing their armor, they're wearing their ornamental armor. They're like, "Yeah, yeah," even though they didn't go anywhere near the fighting. But the only thing I could take from that storyline was just there was that interesting moment where they're negotiating with some of them. She gets another group that comes to her aid and all that. And then it's just the first chunk of chapters is just going from that battle and walking back to the room. So some of this did feel like reading Crossroads of Twilight. Oh yeah, Rihanna Corley's dead, by the way. So the person that murdered Adelaus murdered Rihanna Corley as well. Did this person murder anybody else? I forget.
Yeah, because it comes out that they begin to think that a lot of the kin that ran away were actually murdered.
Yeah.
Because isn't that how they found out? No, not Rihanna, but they found the belongings of other people still in the castle, and they're like, if they actually ran away, they would have taken this.
Yep.
Okay, because I thought they're trying to I thought they're trying to scare off the kin. They're trying to get the kin to run away.
Yeah.
Too.
They're trying to get them to run away, but they are killing, or Carry On is killing some of them.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a serial killer.
I liked how Carriana was revealed right before Van Dien does the stabbing and all that. I like how leave her alone. She's one of us. I'm like, okay. I probably wouldn't have done that. That was dumb. But they're like, they're all dead anyway. So, but I did not see coming. I honestly thought that when I read that, I thought Van Dien was going to die without completing her revenge, and then the whole they're being shielded, and she just takes out the blade and just goes like that. So I was just like,
keep in mind too, though, that Elaine decided to get into that situation she was sure that one of the 3 of them, although Marilyl's gone, but was it Sorethia is the other one?
Yes, Soretha, yeah.
Soretha and Carrie. So 50-50 chance that one of those is a dark friend.
And she said that repeatedly in her POVs. And it's just
and then she decides to go into Full Moon Street or whatever on that house to spring her trap. Bringing along a likely
and gets captured.
Okay.
And then
because she's just so she totally believes she's invincible. That's the issue. And that
because of men's viewings, right?
She's retarded. I'm sorry. There's no way.
It's hilarious. Like, if they get to defend the Egwene chapters, I can defend these Elaine chapters. I think they're great.
You just have to think that after all this stuff, Dane is still going to be like, yeah, but I can change her, guys.
Yeah.
I can fix her.
I actually blame Min for this to some extent. Elaine well enough to know what this was going to do. You knew this was the equivalent of giving.
Don't put this on Best Girl. Don't put this on Best Girl.
No, it absolutely.
In Min's defense, this is Avienda's fault because Avienda let slip to Elaine what Min had said.
That's
You're
reasonable.
right.
That's
You're
at
right.
least
You know
reasonable.
So it's a transitive property.
Yeah, she has toe. She had toe.
Yeah, there was no way that this was going to go well. You can't just give Elaine this information and not expect her to immediately put on her retard hat.
Elaine's like the Black Knight in Monty Python,
Yes.
Oh man, I'm invincible. You're a loony.
I love this. This is the best discussion.
Ignoring
of
the consequences of everybody else beside the point.
What, the
Robert
mass
Jordan knows
killer
how to
Elaine?
write
Is that what?
realistic
Yeah.
women characters. Okay, that's
To be fair, Elaine, since the very first book, was always described as kind of being headstrong, doesn't look before she leaps,
Yeah.
but that this was expected of her to be like brave and strong as a future queen of Andor. And she lamented, her upbringing. Like she wanted to go on adventures. Like that's why she tagged along to Falma with Nynaeve and Egwene to begin with. It was always her character to kind of do stupid stuff like this. But yeah, it's basically
Everybody's arguing it's out of character.
No.
it's not okay. It's not a.
No, I think it goes with their
It's
character.
just taking the character to the extreme. Of
Yeah,
like,
it's not. It's like I didn't realize this until we we recently finished our re-listen of the audiobooks, and it was like, man, like the thousands of people that actually die trying to rescue her.
It's a lot.
Like I don't think I picked that up when I was reading it, but like listening to
Bale
it, I was
fired
like,
from existence.
yeah, just burn out of the pattern because I'm retarded and didn't
Low,
even think of it.
low key, would it have been
works.
better for the side of the light had Elaine lost the succession war?
Probably.
If Island succeed instead, yeah, probably.
This is Robert Jordan's observance of the impact of pregnancy brain. It turns all your fucking flaws and enhances them like you're a normal person on cocaine.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
think
the
that-
women chemicals, they mess you up. Like, yeah, they do. I can
Ain't
speak
fucking
from
joking.
experience here.
You know?
I do feel like there's a certain part of this book that is just like the sort of like crashing wave of the realization, like the shattering glass in the background of your mind, of you're like, I've been giving Elaine so much rope because she slapped the shit out of Egwene that one time. and this is when it finally is just like, damn, she's been the villain this whole time.
I always
Are we
heard
the baddies?
thought that this was Robert Jordan writing about women in combat roles in the U.S. military.
Perhaps.
But Birgitto's actually cool.
Yeah, which I think is kind of like the point that's being made is like there's 1 in 100 of them are useful.
She
Right.
met the
But, like,
combat standards before they were lowered.
The
Yes.
exception to the rule.
Yes, whereas Elaine is the standard. Like,
Oh man, reading every single description every single time she looks at any of her Queen's Guard is
Yeah.
just
Like, stop, please. Just stop.
I love that Elaine has the exact same strategy of Queen's Guards as Gaddafi does.
I was gonna say
Like,
I love it.
Gaddafi, really.
yeah, how he always
Yeah,
had the smoking
yeah.
Persian women as his
Yeah, this
personal
is a
guard.
real historical fact.
Yeah, she dressed them up in silk. He dressed them in bikinis. It's just a different time period sort of thing.
Yeah,
you
make
know?
them
Yeah, it's
underestimate.
like
you,
cultural
man.
difference.
Brian
All
is
right,
like, why
so-
did I invite you people on?
Yeah, well, I didn't know. This is. I mean, I know who Gaddafi is. I didn't know that. So
Yeah, look up
weird information to.
It's the only good part about Gaddafi.
I
thought. I mean,
Libya.
the way he
Other
died.
than
He
the fact
died
that
like a
he's dead.
freaking. He died like a villain in a movie, basically.
He died like a dog, crying for his mommy. Oh, sorry, that was the other guy.
All right, please. I need to stay composed. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. All right.
The real
especially
one or
as-
the Shane Gillis one?
Jimmy
Both are
Kimmel.
great.
Either one.
Jimmy Kimmel.
They're both great for different reasons.
All right. So I got a question. I forget. Maybe this is something I missed. How did they come to suspect? Did they suspect Dallin Millar or David Hanlon the whole time of his allegiance and all that, and they just happened to be right on this one?
Well, there were a couple of things, right?
Because
So-
that's how they got to that. That house on the hell is it called? Full Moon Street.
Full Moon Street or something. So if you recall, so he started getting a bad reputation around the castle. Like, yes, he did save Elaine in the whole
Because-
rescue thing.
Yeah, there was that whole, and this is once again another thing that women in Robert Jordan's books do is there's rumors that they've, do stuff with other men and then they don't even bother dispelling the rumor.
Oh,
Like, for
yeah,
instance,
she-
Verlaine
how is that-
with Aaron,
Yeah.
and now Dallin Mellar with Elaine. Elaine doesn't try to display
My
the
child
dispel-
will be safer thinking if everyone thinks that he's the father, kind of thing. But
Was it
but
that, or was
it's-
there more stuff that he did? That
Well, there was word that got back to him that he was basically pinching women's bottoms or whatever, like all terrible stuff. And then, if you recall, he was also the guy who I think quite poorly led a bunch of mercenaries into the city without vetting, perhaps if they were actually going to be loyal to her.
Mhm.
So she was suspect from that. And then they wanted to find out more about him. And then all the people that they hired to tail him started disappearing.
Okay, now that I remember from Crossroads of Twilight. He's walking to the house or something, and then he kills somebody, and I'm like I'm reading that, and I'm just like, interesting. Are the Dark Friends trying to take each other out? Because that's initially what I thought it was. So I was actually kind of impressed that this was from Elaine. Because all the things you guys have been saying is like, oh, she's stupid. Like, well, this is one of those things where she was
But
not.
didn't she take the convict to trail him?
Yep, that happens
She
in
did
this
the
book.
same thing that like Moraine did with giving him like a coin or something.
Yeah, the human gray man.
Oh, I liked how like the guy, like the moment they go to the house and all that, he's like, "You're gonna let me go, right? I'm good." She's like, "No, no, you're just gonna be exiled, or you can work for me."
She's Cisco in Deep Space Nine in the pilot.
And then Hal Nori's like, "Yeah, bitch, you're working for me now. You're mine." Okay, sorry. But yeah, that was the only thing I was curious about. So yeah, Samuel Hark. So is that the human gray man. He managed to not be noticed by him, because I was a little worried about him. I was because he's one of those characters that just pops up. I'm like, is he gonna get offed by our David Hanlon? Nope.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You could the introduction to Hark. I could see you're like, all right, are they about to Worf this dude? Where like they
Worf?
build
Worf?
the meme about Worfing somebody, where you like take Worf and he fights somebody and like Worf gets his ass beat, and that's how you establish somebody else is so strong. You're the Star Trek guy. You
How do
should
you not-
understand.
even I know
Worf
that.
is-
I've
like,
never
what
heard
is-
that before?
I've never heard
Wait.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, when
It
you
is a classic meme trait.
It's also Bruce bannering somebody.
Also Bruce Banner somebody. Yeah.
I'm trying
So
to understand
anyway.
what's the meme. What were you talking about?
Okay, so
you
you have a new
build
character,
somebody up.
like a villain or
Yeah.
a side character that you need to establish to the audience that this person is legit. They're a badass. They're
it's
cool.
Worfing.
So this new character will get in a fight with Worf and beat Worf. That way the audience knows that this new character is legitimate. Except that they did it so many times and Worf got his ass beat by so many people that it stopped mattering. Does that make sense?
Sure. I don't know if Worf's a good example though. Worf usually beats everybody up.
Oh, but like in the beginning of an episode, Worf gets beat a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time this is not so
We're triggering Star Trek for you right now.
Anyway, all I was saying was that I could see how reading it the first time, you could see how Hark could be being set up to then get killed, and that would like establish for the reader like, oh, this Mellar guy's like he's actually like a serious
Competence,
badass,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what
But-
you're saying now.
I expected the Hark thing to work because, I mean, like we already know who Mellar is. You already get that he's like killed 5 other people. So like, in order for the plot to happen, eventually they have to be able to successfully follow the guy.
Right.
So I was pretty sure Hark was probably going to be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, fair enough, so But other than that, I think Elaine, the whole thing with the Dark Friends gets resolved. She gets captured. Uh, Brigida brings up the army or what's left, and she begs. She has to. Well, she doesn't beg. She manages to use the terms of the sea folk against them. Like you want her dead, or if she dies, your freaking contract's kaput. And I don't think your wave mistress is gonna like that, huh? Right. So they get them to. That's how they get them to. What do you call it? To channel. To help
This
channel
is why I'm so glad there was like 5 sea folk chapters to explain how their culture worked. Otherwise, I would be lost in this one little part. It all made it worthwhile.
Well, this one, they should have just made Birgitta the queen.
Facts and truth.
Can we just rewind the clock a little bit and think about how Rand handed this country to this bitch?
Yeah.
Not his best choice.
What was going on here? Why was there even a succession arc? Somebody explain that to me.
Everything was fine. He handed it to her. It was totally fine.
The book explains this plot point, and you bring it up every time.
Badly.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with him leaving her to rule because he can't fucking do it because he's got a bunch of other shit he has to do. So he can't just rule and but like this whole storyline is just unnecessary.
Why?
Keep in mind, Rand also wanted her to get Kyrian too.
Yeah, insane.
Absolutely insane. You know who did
because she's related.
They were in charge of
Ruark.
Yeah.
Well,
where the hell is he? Where the hell is he been? I haven't seen him.
Aiel again.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ruark. Where the hell's he been? Is he hanging out in Kyrian? That's why we haven't been there in a few books or something.
No, he's with the main Aiel camp outside of Camelin, and they begin moving in this one.
Well, I thought it was Bashir, and was it Bale? I thought Bale was the one that was with Bashir outside of Camelin. Yeah.
Bale Doman?
No, Bale, the Aiel.
You're
right.
His name Bale?
B-A-E-L.
Super tall guy.
Aiel, Bale.
Yeah, the super tall guy. That's right.
Yeah. So
not to be confused with Bale Tillman.
Yep.
There's another person in this book who also makes questionable choices with women.
There could be so many people.
Some people just like a domineering woman. You never know.
Bale Doman, after reading this book, you're like, Bale Doman has a gimp suit, doesn't he?
Yeah, ain't wrong.
Although, Brian, one thing I will tell you now, and a lot of Elaine is kind of put to bed for a book.
Thank God.
So you got a lot of Elaine happening here, but you don't have to act like I double checked. I don't think she has a POV section at all in the Gathering Storm.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So
I've been waiting for that since the Shadow Rising.
Path of Daggers is Elaine heavy. She's like the main character in that one. She's got the most chapters in Winter's Heart and in Crossroads, and a ton in Knife of Dreams here. So she's getting upwards of like 30% of the POVs in these books, and then done.
So
Sanderson, you're the real MVP, buddy.
So to go back really briefly to the Black Sister, to the Dark Friends, how did they? So were the other four that were with that managed to get the drop on Elaine and Vandine and all them? Were they working directly with Lady Sheehan or Millie Skane, whatever her name is? Or did they just happen to show up because they found out that Falion and the rest of them were there? Because it seems like they didn't report to her because she's like, "Oh, did Moradin send you?" And then she went with the air slapping Lady Shane or whatever. I was like, finally, someone pelted that bitch.
Yeah, that sounds accurate, right? So Millie Skane, Lady Shane, she got put in charge of like some of the Aes Sedai who failed. She got put in charge of Jacob Carradine and killed him off. Dylan Mellar or David Hanlon had to report to her. But you're right. So Falion and Ispen, I believe. And who did they have here?
Esme, Chesmal, Tamail. And
which was what was the Aes Sedai that Shiane was bullying or making?
Thalion.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So
don't know if Marilyn was the other one that got bullied, but she was one of the two that were identified outside the full moon.
So Thalion effectively failed down in Abu Dar because she was supposed to like secure all the Terangrial and other stuff. So she failed.
She was tortured alongside Jacob Carradine, and she was spared, whereas he was not.
So she was being chastised by Moradin, but you're right. The other Black Aja sisters, who are all original Leandrin's 13 from the third book, they come into Camelin. It's left open as to who's giving them orders now. It could be that they were just free agents because the last person in charge of them all was Mogedion, and she's obviously not giving them orders anymore. So they came back to kind of take shit over again.
So isn't Asni the one that has or Asni or one of the four has, because there was, I think, a chapter, I don't know if it was Winter's Heart, it might have been Winter's Heart, where there's this passage with them, and they're I think they're in one of the Altaran cities, or maybe Gildan, I don't remember, but they're worried about this one's warder hunting them. Basically, they're trying to get as far away from him as possible, and I don't think that pays off, right? Like that doesn't. Nothing happens.
No.
Nothing develops with that. So, I was curious why. Like, wouldn't they be able to just kill the? Well, actually, no. I guess that wouldn't. What would I mean? Yeah. Well, we saw what happens when a warder dies in Lord of Chaos to the Aes Sedai, basically.
Yeah, they get grief or whatever, but I mean. Yeah. The only semi-cool element about this storyline would be the idea of a warder on a mission to kill their own Aes Sedai because he found out his Aes Sedai was a dark friend. Because he knows then it's a suicide mission. So it would be the cool concept for a story, but you're right, it goes nowhere.
Are there any, but there are some warders that go along with it, the Black Ops and all that?
Some warders are dark friends themselves, and that's like a precondition for becoming a Black Sisters warder.
Well, I thought most warders actually kill themselves so they don't have to go gay.
That can happen sometimes too.
Now, is that just the green Aja, or is that all of them?
That's a good question.
It's all the Lana's warders.
Yeah, the Reds are the only ones you're safe from. In other words.
That's changing though. They're trying to get in on it.
It's true. They are. They're trying to bond everybody.
They're trying to turn everybody gay.
They're like, we dislike men, and all of your warders are killing themselves. This might be some efficiency actually over here.
Sorry, I lost track. Are we talking about public school teachers or the Red Aja?
Brian, your stream is going to have some trouble on monetization.
Nobody's watching it. We're fine.
It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And I think there's one last point I forgot to bring up, and we'll cap off Elaine with this. Elaine's pregnant, everybody, and she blames Rand, just like the Bill Cosby joke. Like, how dare he put those babies in me? How dare?
Rand's got strong stuff, man. Come on.
You think she'd appreciate the babies since they make her invincible?
That in the fact, I read this, and after I read this book was Elaine, especially at the end and how she acts in the last few books, it's like, was she just using him the whole time?
Yes.
She's evil.
The answer is yes.
Evil.
She gained 2 king. Well.
Yeah, she gained so much by doing that, and she will never ever. No one will ever challenge her because she has that claim on Rand.
Well, if she wasn't,
she played the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Her answer is just, I'm married to the Dragon Reborn, remember? And everybody shuts the fuck up.
I like how I like how Min is hogging the Dragon Reborn in this case, whereas
she's hogging the Dragon Reborn.
Didn't sleep with Avienda only once, and that was in Fires of Heaven, in the Shandar or whatever it's called. And then I like how he's trying to avoid Elaine in Winter's Heart, And we're like, winter, and she's like, no, bitch, you're staying and you're helping me undo my dress.
Yeah, she's like, this dress isn't going to take itself off.
That is like one of the funnier parts about
That
this.
was pretty funny,
Elaine, it like blames Rand, and like, I don't know if you guys remember, none of this was Rand's idea. Like, the girls planned all of this. It was like, all right,
It's kind of gross.
you're up, buddy. you, 7 minutes in heaven. Get in there.
I think this was all a scheme by Min so that Min can have him, basically, and she's had him ever since Lord of Chaos. You know, I guess when you get rescued,
Min's truly the only one that gives a shit about Rand.
I mean, you just have to remember that Min is the character that Robert Jordan uses to make the reader actually believe that Rand would save the world, given everything else that he's gone through. It's like the only reason that you're like, okay, it makes sense.
we'll get to Rand, but I figure we go with Matt. We'll go with Matt next. So what did Matt do in the last book? They're fleeing the Sean Chan. He's got Tuon. He's got a whole bunch of. He's got 3 Aes Sedai with him. A couple of them are former Damani. Obviously, he's got Tom. He's got Julian. He's got Oliver. He's got Noel. And the innkeeper. I keep forgetting her name. The innkeeper from Evodar. Satella Anon, and
there's a couple of Red Arms still left. Most of them are dead.
Oh yeah, Vannon's with them, I think.
Yeah.
Godorian.
Talmanis is not with them. I know that for sure.
No.
And so we get some interesting stuff. We find out that Noel is related to Jane Farstrider, and he felt bad. He's like, "Oh, I don't like Jane." No? Yeah, we find that out. Or maybe he's not what he says he is. Maybe he's something else. Maybe he's not the brother of Jane Farstrider or the cousin or something. I forget what he calls him. But we find out that Jane Farstrider has some regrets because his wife was dying and he wasn't there for her or something. So that was a sad one. And I like how Oliver was like, Jane Starr was a fine man. So, but that's
yeah.
And of course, the other one that really, the one I was listening to these before I was reading them, and the one that really stood out is the one, Moraine's note.
Oh,
we finally get Moraine's note from Fires of Heaven. Finally get to read its contents, and so I was talking about this on the Discord. There was some confusion I had. So apparently, the letter was given to Matt, and then Matt. It was given to Matt, right?
Yep.
Matt gave it to Tom, and then Tom had it for as long as he did until Matt brought it up. Was the rule?
Yeah,
that was the instruction from Moraine, basically.
Yes.
And if it varied, or if it what do you call it when you don't follow the rules exactly? I'm bad with words.
If you violate the compact,
divert, yeah. Then there's everybody dies basically. So, so basically we're setting up one of the We're basically setting up the rescue of Moraine. I knew she wasn't dead. I knew it. Just because the bond. So I like how they're like, oh, Min could be wrong because. She says Moraine has a future, but Moraine's dead. So don't make that assumption that Min can be wrong. I forgot what they were talking about, but yeah. So I thought I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to that. I knew right away that wasn't going to happen in this book. So in book 13, because I think book 13 is a lot of man and parents. So I think it's going to be in book 13. The Golem is still chasing them. The Golem's been killing on the road, and Tom's been pointing that out. So that happens, and then there's a point where I think there's a point where we find out Bethamin can channel, and they're channeling and Matt is having a shit fit because they're channeling and they're Sean Chan. They're like in the heart of like a Sean Chan, like settlement or something like that. So, I forget if that's when he spanks them. When does he spank Jolene? I forget why he spanks Jolene. I just remember he spanks.
Stop bitching.
Yeah, they're just eyes that
Because aren't they fighting each other or something?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, so he comes in and like berates them for channeling. Like, what if there was a Damane with the soldier detachment out here? You're putting yourselves at risk. So they undo it, and then they try to channel at him, but then the flows basically melt off him because he has the medallion. And then he's like, all right, that's it. And he basically takes Jolene and spanks her. It's awesome.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. I'm trying to remember what else.
And of course, Jolene has a pair of warders too. So.
Oh yeah, and he's like, oh, did I get on their bad side or something because of that? So.
Both of the warders just like.
I like how later on, even though this, I like how later on, I think in the second to last chapter, one of the Damani shields all them. He's like, let her go. And then she's like, sorry, your thing doesn't work on me. He's like, let him go. I'm going to spank you too. So I don't know.
You could have just smacked these bitches the whole time.
I'm surprised this book wasn't called The Spank of Dreams.
Yeah, you gotta like
lots of
get your
pinching,
dominance established.
lots of bottom pinching and spanking or paddling bottoms, as they say, as Robert Jordan says. But yeah, I think, but ultimately, there's a point where they go to, the Shiota. Yeah, that Pips brought up before. That was a weird one. This was a weird one. So is this another one of those? Because the dark one is the seals are weakening and Tarman Guidance getting closer and all that. So obviously they see the dead people. So that's a follow up from Crossroads. And was interesting. They realize they're dead because the kids don't react to the caravans and all that. What the hell was with the guy sinking though?
Guy's sinking.
What do you mean about what?
Are you talking about the ghost town?
He's talking about the peddler.
So there's
the
a
peddler
peddler
that step off his cart. And
there's a
sinks into the
peddler
ground.
that sinks into the ground with his cart, and
It's the town that gets eaten by, right?
Yeah.
It's the town that
and
melts.
the town sinks too, like they're all dead. So
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're all dead. I think they're from a different time, right? Because it's noted that the architecture is like centuries old or whatnot. So it's reality itself is unwinding, and there's like a little pocket dimension, and then one dude crossed into it, and he's like fading out with it.
It's
or
just
sinking
another
into
sign
it.
the dark one is fucking with everything around the world.
It is
because people are walking amongst other, dead people or seeing other realities or something, and they're not.
So there's two possible explanations that more or less amount to the same thing. There's the bubble of evil sort of, thing, right? But I don't think this one actually has the same character of, we'll say, just evil that the previous ones did in that regard. So I probably wouldn't categorize it as that, but you probably could. And the other would just be that reality is sort of breaking down, and so that was like this section of reality played a loop instead of your regularly scheduled broadcast. So it's either just a total breakdown of the pattern and reality, or it's a bubble of evil, one of those two things, but they both point to the same thing.
Okay, yeah, this was one of the better chapters in my opinion.
Yeah, I liked it because the idea of like the pattern, it's a weave, it's the metaphor, and if the threads are kind of pulling apart, then things are kind of.
So to follow that up, apparently Tuan wants to go to hell.
Oh my god, I forgot about this fucking.
Tuan wants to go to hell. Yeah, that's funny.
Who wants to get drunk in a bar
we did
is
that.
the most
She wants to
hilarious.
go to a rough. She
Is
wants
the
to go.
most hilarious part.
That
Yeah,
was
she
funny.
wants to go to a rough bar, and they call it the White Ring, basically. Like
She just wants Matt to get into a knife fight, which is hilarious.
Yes, that is.
And what's
Yeah, you
funny
gotta
is
prove yourself.
he gets into the knife fight, and I was like, "Holy crap, he's good with a knife!" Like I thought he was only good with. I mean, I know he's good with obviously with the quarterstaff and his ashandara, and he's also good with throwing knives. I didn't realize he was good with just fighting with daggers and all that. That was a. I mean, unless I missed something or he fought with daggers before or something.
I think it's a combination of he's got the memories.
Mm-hmm.
He's Matt. Yeah, I mean,
He killed Melindra with a dagger.
Yep.
I was going to say, going back to the
Tom's good with
very
daggers,
beginning. Going back to the very beginning, it's been counted that like Tom said that he had very nimble hands, right? And you see him like throwing daggers and stuff like that really early on. But don't question it too much. He's got the dice rolling in his head, and
didn't Tom like teach him some of that stuff?
Yeah, I thought
Yep.
so.
Okay, yeah.
Tom's like, teach you how to stab a guy in an alley. No, I did not teach you that.
And then I think doesn't Tuon like help him or something because once again,
Yeah, she starts
Matt
doing
won't attack a
karate.
woman.
Yep.
There's an interesting scene in there between Tuon and is it Selucia? The lady's maid. There's
I
a
think so.
scene there that I like where Tom's just like, I'm old and I forget things, and she's like, what did you forget? And he's like, I forgot. it's a good little scene. I like it.
Wait, he forgot something. He's like, "What did you forget?" I just forgot. Is that what?
Yeah,
It was?
I mean the implication is that Selucia probably was going ham just like Matt was. He was just facing the other direction and didn't see it. And Tom's just like, I didn't see anything because this lady over here probably kills people that know that she does this.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a funny scene.
Because we as the readers sort of know that Selucia is also Tuon's like final bodyguard.
Yeah.
But there's the scene that happened just before that fight where Matt is advancing on Tuon when she's got the Aes Sedai in the Idams, and Selucia it's commented that Selucia looks at Matt like she's afraid, and then Tuon says no, and she like doesn't seem afraid anymore. And you as the reader, you're like, unbeknownst to Matt, Selucia was pretending to be afraid. She was playing the like, oh, I'm a woman, I'm afraid. But she was about to throat chop him if he walked any closer to Tuon. And so yeah, she's supposed to be kind of a badass.
Okay. Do we ever see any? Never mind. I'll find out. Okay. So, so apparently later on, Tuon allows him to kiss her.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I forget. Is this the one where she makes the comment about the a lion holed up in a horse stall?
Yes, that's after he reunites
Yeah.
with the band.
Yes, would look ridiculous, but a lion on the prowl on the open field is a terrifying thing to behold.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's when she reunites with. That's when Matt reunites with the band.
Who? Okay, Lady B, you got to tell me, how is it that you didn't like the Matt chapters in this book? This is like Matt being the most Matt. Like this is like I love Matt. in
No,
this
I
book.
just don't like.
He hates Tuon.
I don't like Tuon. I don't like what that represents. I don't like how that's him just acquiescing. Well, I have to be with this person because like prophecy or whatever.
But the stuff with the red hand is so good.
It is. I don't like the Tuon part. That stuff is fine. I don't like Tuon. Like
you mentioned earlier that like Matt has always like tried to fight against people
Mhm.
telling him what to do, but
Mhm.
there's always been an exception throughout the entire series, and it's when it's connected to the answers that he got. It's not just with Tuon, it's with everything he learned from the it's 50-50 shot. The Aelfin?
And Eilfin,
Yeah.
We're all just gonna nod.
Which one?
Yeah,
Did
I
get it
feel like
right?
that's true. I feel like there's a lot of things
The Aelfin are snakes, Eilfin are foxes.
Yeah, it is just kind of sad because it's like so many things that's like they're like, I can make a difference. No, I am just going to go along with this prophecy. I think it's just something that this book kind of deals with, like free will versus not.
But that's the explanation of Taviran that I think, there's been a conversation with like Sanderson has added some, and Jordan has said some things about it in like Q&A stuff, where it came up in, was it the Daniel Green like watch party of the show or something like that, where Sanderson kind of explains it, where it's not like plot armor, in the like, this guy, like, it's not just that. It's not like just about like, things happen. Matt is the like most, he is the person most affected by his own Taviranness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole like point of this is that like, and I can see how it maybe reads a little bit odd because he is like accepting it and sort of like leaning into it, and you're like, oh, why isn't he fighting it? In my mind, he just sort of knows that he's got like no control over it on one hand, but then on the other hand, and this is where maybe like if you just really dislike Tuon, it's hard to imagine. But it's also he like
There are worse fates.
At the start, he's like more against it, and then later he like kind of falls for her.
Yeah.
And so it's like, like what would he be fighting against? I don't know. To me, it never really seemed that terrible. I know a lot of people dislike Tuon, and specifically Matt and Tuon's relationship. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
it ties in with with the dice in the head, though. I mean, it's he acquiesces to it or submits himself to it because it's not going to change at all for him. He doesn't have an option. His free will, so to speak, is completely tied up, locked away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, he traded in having like sweet memory powers and like tactical genius, but he has to marry Jada Pinkett Smith. So,
Oh fuck!
You tell me what the
Hey,
what that
you
trade
know
off
what?
is.
Yeah,
You gotta
compare
know.
Tuon. Tuon is way better.
I don't know. I just like I don't know.
Tuon only enslaved a continent.
This has to happen, but I don't like it. Like, I don't know. It's just there's so many things that he didn't like about this person. I don't feel like she really endeared herself to him.
Well, like she says in the book, like he says he loves her, but she doesn't. She finally says, "Oh, that's my husband" and all that. But she's like, "How come you don't say it with any loves? Because I don't love you." Yeah,
I know. For him to love her or whatever, what if I thought was the dumb part? It's like he could have gone along with it, realizing I have to do this, but to kind of add all that crap in there was really stupid. I thought that's what I don't like.
I forget. So they have to say it 3 times in order to make the marriage legit, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
It's like Candyman.
Who's the mayor from Chicago that looked like Beetlejuice?
No, that was Lori Lightfoot.
Oh shit!
Lori Lightfoot. Tuon is a young Lori Lightfoot.
Oh
yeah,
my.
yeah. Let's just say let's just say certain things.
Nobody can be that physically unattractive, intentionally or unintentionally.
Let's just say certain gatherings kind of got put down because it got close to her house. Like a typical thing, so just like the West Coast. So, but that's not important. So, what else with Matt? So the thing with, I thought, honestly, I was kind of surprised with the end game. I thought, based on the chapter where they find out, that they're looking for that there's members of the Shan Chan that want to kill Tuan. They're looking for a false Tuan or something like that, if I remember correctly. And so they're trying to figure out how to get how to avoid them. And honestly, I thought the whole mission was done to get to Lugard. They had to cross those mountains in order to get into Mirandi or wherever that is. So I thought that they were going to fight in one of the passes in order for them to get through. So apparently I was totally wrong, and my expectations were completely subverted. So apparently what he did was he basically set up several ambushes with the Shan Chan and Altara, and then lured like they're the main people to the Malphides Narrows or whatever it's called. The Malphite Narrows.
And the cool part of that battle was that, like, hey, we get to use like Eludra's gunpowder, firearms.
I thought that one was the repeating crossbows.
Was
Yeah,
it
so there was the first incident with the crossbows that kind of kicked it all off, and then I think several chapters later was the was
because that comes when like he realized that they're trying to kill Tuan, and like we have to fight the Shan Chan.
So apparently they meet up with Furyk Kharid or something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were running from him, but apparently they meet up with him in the penultimate chapter. By the way, I didn't give the Shan Chan credit. So are they the ones that invented the cup of coffee, the cup of cap?
Mm-hmm. Cap.
Yep.
Okay.
Just another win for the ever victorious army.
America, or Shan Chan runs on. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
I mean, you didn't get that from High Lord Turok. He was a cap drinker.
I don't know. I must have forgot. That was years ago for me.
He is a little high strung.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, so they meet up. They basically lure. Hey, Furyk, come here. He's like, I want to look for Tom Maryland. And Tom's like, who, me? What do you want me for?
Legendary spy Tom Maryland.
Oh, that was
General.
General Tom Maryland. That's it.
That was funny.
I do like how he basically came to the correct conclusion, wrong way of getting there.
I love that about this book. The Kharid thinking about Tom Maryland being in charge is just a great, like, every single time I read this book, it just makes me smile. Like, it's just funny. It's just so good. Like,
Well, it couldn't possibly be.
I forget where that came from. It wasn't because he was talking to that seeker dude in the last book, or was it this book?
It was this book, I think.
Yeah, so he got
Almarat Moore or something. Almarat Moore.
I think he got the idea because it was because Tom was around in the Great Hunt.
I think because he was asking Brown about stuff.
And Tom was around when Matt was with Tylan and Tuan. So he came to the conclusion that Matt is obviously too young to be in charge, so it must have been Tom.
That was funny.
And also, he was Tylan's pet. I mean, it makes sense. It's a perfect example of how all of the available evidence could lead to a wrong conclusion and be totally reasonable the whole time. And I think it's well written. I think it's well written. It reads well, and it's just kind of a funny thing for you, the reader.
Yep, I like it. It's funny. It's good.
Trying to remember.
We got an anime fight.
We haven't. Yeah, we're not at Rand yet. We still have to finish Matt. Rand's next. So they had the wet. So they basically he sends Tuan with Furyk to go back to Abu Dar or something. I'm curious how they got back so quickly. Was there traveling involved?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Just do like toe rocking or
Yeah, because
something.
like right after the battle, right after because I thought Tuan is they leave, they depart, and then they have the battle, and then the Ogier finds the head of the dude that was leading the battle. So apparently the battle was only one Sean Chan, and the rest were other people.
I think like Terabonners or something.
Terabonners and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So it was another one of those cases where they surround it was another case where they surround the enemy and defeat them. I like how they bring up a wall. Like the enemy formed its own wall of bodies, basically. So,
well, I also like how like the Aes Sedai can only like Matt is constantly asking the Aes Sedai, "Okay, defend yourselves yet?"
You don't feel like what bloody hell? What the blood and ashes, bro? What the hell? What are you trying to? How do you not feel unsafe? I feel unsafe. And then they're like, "Oh, we feel unsafe now." And then they finally do stuff. So I was gonna ask about those slings, like those sling. What exactly are those sling things that they were arming with? Is it like just like slingshots and they throw the dynamite, the cylinders, or something?
I think they had ones where it was on a pole and it was like a mini cannon.
It's like a slings. They call them sling staffs.
Yeah, so it's
a
lacrosse stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is like a legit sort of antiquity weapon.
Didn't hear you. We lost you, Pips.
I was just saying it's a legit weapon from antiquity.
As Carl would call it, a chistera.
The chistera. That's like another actual.
But it's a
sport
pole-mounted one, not an arm-mounted one.
Mm. So and that's what they use to lug the or to throw the dynamite or cylinders wherever they were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite part of the story. Yeah, the Matt stuff I didn't like the Matt stuff as much as like I thought I was gonna like it more. I didn't like it nearly as much. I was reading it, got a little bored. But I kept reading it. I was like, okay, I see what Matt's doing here. Matt is gonna win. Matt's gonna do it. Matt's gonna win. So I wasn't really on the edge of my seat. So I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I didn't dislike it. I just wasn't on the edge of my seat.
Just wait till you get to the Matt stuff in Gathering Storm.
I was gonna say it does get. I feel like the stuff that I often remember about this sequence is actually, I think, it continues from here into the next book. But I still think that there's a lot of great Matt stuff in this.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I liked all the stuff that I brought up. I liked for the most part. I felt there was a little too much of it. I was kind of. I took breaks because of this Matt stuff. Because I was just losing interest. It felt like I was reading more Crossroads of Twilight. So
yeah, the Aes Sedai do suck. The important takeaway is that it's like a civilization game where Matt evolved to the 17th century, and everybody else is still in the 12th century.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see how they're evolving the gunpowder and like what that's going to be like.
Yeah, but the repeating crossbows, the gunpowder, the grenades.
I forgot how did they? So they bought that technology from somebody. The cranks.
Palmanes ran into a guy who I think was like making the technology, so he recruited him to make a bunch of those like repeating crossbows.
Yeah, he was on his way to Andor to like join one of Rand's schools.
Yeah, I love this whole
Oh
idea.
yeah, that's
really
right.
cool.
That's right.
It all comes together in the end. You just have to,
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason, part of the issue with me is I'm forgetting details. So that's more of a me issue than just I'm not playing
okay.
with Jordan and all that.
The Matt stuff in this book is some of my personal favorite stuff in the whole series, but for personal reasons,
fair.
It just relates to me really well.
So you married someone right after a bad.
I was going to say, is this a weird statement about your wife? Like, what is?
No, yeah. So my wife owns slaves.
Knew it.
Man, we gotta move to Utah.
No.
Utah based as hell.
It's a weird story. God told me that I was going to marry my wife before I met her. And that's a really weird thing to say to someone that you're courting. So I didn't. I kept that a secret until we were basically engaged. But like our entire courtship was like I knew that I was going to marry her.
Playing it cool.
And I had to just like con her into marrying me. And the whole time I was just terrified I was going to screw it up.
That sounds like every relationship ever.
Fascinated.
I feel like my husband was a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's one more.
Osby's book.
Oh boy.
Doesn't count if you use performance enhancing drugs, Nathan.
Been working well for 22 years.
Yeah, I should have given her the hot Cosby.
Oh man!
All right.
I've got to jump so I can get to work in the morning.
Cool.
All right.
So thanks for having me on, Brian.
So what's your before you go, Nathan? What was your favorite? I mean, besides Matt, what was your favorite aspects of Perrin and Rand's stuff? This book.
Rand, that the battle that he had with Luce Theron, when Luce Theron takes over, and just that whole interplay there with Perrin, just his whole the machinations that he sits there and he's utilizing the Shan Chan to fork root the entire village, get in there and get Fael back, despite Fael being fucking annoying. But I can still understand the dedication to your wife element of that, though. So I relate there. But
all right. Well, thanks.
And I agree with Pips. Slog isn't real.
I would say that the point you just made there about like the dedication of the wife, it's why I think the slog isn't real. I think when I reread the series now and I reread the parent stuff now being married, I don't know, it's different.
What do you think, babe? Do you agree?
I do.
It's different.
It does. It absolutely does. When you're not married before, you're just like, God damn it, Perrin, would you fucking ditch this bitch? Like, why are you?
You're like, Perrin is pussy whipped as shit.
Yeah. It's not simping when it actually means something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Well said.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, take care, everyone. Good to see y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That being said, Nathan is completely wrong. There is a slog, and story slows down to a crawl. That's the slog. So
I think we should all make sure to remind Brian of what the correct opinion is in that regard.
But yeah, so I know what you guys thinking. I'm just messing. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. I'm with you on the. Well, I'm not. Let's not talk about that. We're not on parents. So, the last thing. So Tuon's story's not quite done. There's an epilogue. So, and we already talked about the Bavara part of the epilogue. So, but apparently we had another Sarath point of view, and to my surprise, she exits the story. They basically, I honestly thought it was going to be that Seeker guy that was going to be the one to like arrest her and all that, and I was surprised ended up being Tuon herself, because I was like, how are they gonna pin this on her? And then I forgot about that one character that they mentioned in, believe it or not, in The Great Hunt, and then of course in the prologue. So there's this one other dark friend that will do everything. Apparently, they all knew that he was her creature. So they find his head, they take it, and that's how they managed to basically take away everything, and she can't commit suicide. So now she's a slave or something. What happens with her?
Dakovali, so she basically gets put on the block. It's like the ultimate shame. Her name is like stricken from the record. She's turned into property and sold. at a slave market.
But aren't slaves typically treated better?
And Lady B thinks that this is the bad part.
Yeah, like they can level up or something. Like, was it the Ottomans that had that type of setup? I forget who.
Romans did too.
The Janissaries.
The who?
The Ottomans were the Janissaries, the slaves that sort of like, ran parts of the bureaucratic state.
So yeah, so I think she kind of she's lucky she didn't get off by other dark friends like like.
Well, that's the key point, is she would have preferred death, right?
Probably, yeah. Oh yeah, because of their culture and all that. So, oh well. Well, I think she lasted too long, anyways. So, all right. So we're done with Matt. We're done with Tuon. Let's go to Rand. But before Rand, I didn't bring up the. We have another not dark front. We have another Forsaken. We have another Forsaken chapter, and so there is something that was interesting that was brought up that I was like, okay, how is this going to pay off? So apparently, somebody, according to Moradin, says there's someone. Apparently, Samael has resurfaced and is directing like legions of shadow spawn or something like that in the ways. I'm wondering if those shadow spawn that they bring up in this meeting are the same shadow spawn that turn up at the manor at the.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Okay, but there was no one else. There was no like leader. It was just the shadow spawn themselves. Where was this Samael character that was leading them? Is that going to pay off? Is that something I'm going to find out, or did Sanderson abandon it?
I thought they kind of played that off as Shadow Huron.
I don't remember.
Are you talking about Samael?
No, it's implied who this is, but Samael isn't that. Somebody's pretending to be.
Somebody pretends to be Samael later, so yeah.
And if you reread, it's pretty obvious who was in cahoots with Samael and would basically do something like this.
So just somebody uses a mask of mirrors and takes over where Samael left off, basically. So they don't find out he's dead, but somebody takes over where Samael left off.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Kind of forgot that part.
I mean, he dealt with Grendel. He dealt with the Shido.
No, it has to be a Forsaken. So you already nailed it.
Yeah, it's got to be a Forsaken because Mask of Mirrors. Somebody shows up to them as Samael, so they think he's still fine.
Well, the only other male that I saw him. Well, never mind. I guess I'll find out. So, oh well.
I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be a huge mystery, right? Like
it's not a huge mystery. You just gotta when you get to her POV section, just pay attention to what she's thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you already named her, so yeah, you're on the right track.
Grendel. Okay.
Right, because her whole MO, right? She's hiding, pretending to be somebody else, getting other people to do orders, all doing it from her safe spot.
Yep.
I guess they can. They can appear as men, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. I thought there was a limitation. Like women can only appear as women, men can only appear as men, or something like that.
No.
I forget if there was an example that wasn't the case. So I thought there was like another male character that was doing this. Pardon me. I at some point I was entertaining the idea of Pat and Fane. So, speaking of which, last 4 books he's only made 1 appearance. So was Robert Jordan just like not feeling Pat and Fane, or like what?
I guess the first thing that I would say is Pat and Fane is mostly obsessed with Rand at this point. And the problem he has is that even as powerful as Pat and Fane has gotten, there are levels to this. So challenging Rand outright is difficult.
Yeah, that's why he was in. That's why he was in like Farm Manning, for instance,
Mhm.
because he got depowered because of that big giant ter'angreal, and then the same with and he had to and the same in Crown of Swords, where he had to create this situation where Rand was completely distracted so that he could stab him or slash him or whatever it was across his wound.
Yeah. Rand is like teleporting around the entire friggin' map, and he's got like a whole bunch of Maidens of the Spear following him around everywhere, trying to kill anybody who looks at him sideways. Plus, he's like a walking nuclear weapon.
He's very Balefire happy at the moment.
Yeah. So Patton Fane is like, I've got to lay traps. I've got to have plans and schemes in order to deal with this. And there's not a whole lot of opportunity.
It's just biding its time.
Because doesn't he make only a few more appearances and that's it, basically, at the end?
Yeah.
But I think it's also very possible that it's just a situation where there's a lot going on in the books.
Yeah,
there's a lot going
He
on.
just didn't get to it before he passed. I don't think he was quite sure what to do, and he just didn't get to it.
We can all agree that Sanderson did not do it right.
No, Sanderson fucked up Patton Fane. Oh my, huge.
Lots of things he messed up.
Brian, at the end of the day, it probably would have been better if Patton Fane never comes back.
Yep, probably
from this point on.
Yeah, Patton Fane just stayed gone. That's probably a better ending. Patton Fane is probably the worst ending, I would say.
Patton Fane was like the scouring of the Shire for
it would make more sense with the whole circularity of time, because Patton Fane is in essence it's the evil of Shadow Logoth. Shadow Logoth is gone now. He's the only thing left of that place, and it needs to come back for the next turning of the wheel.
It would have been nice
if whatever he is something immortal.
It would have been nice if the cleansing wounded him and he had to fucking run off or something, because Shadow Logoth is wounded, right? But yeah,
don't worry though, Dane. The even after his ultimate demise, the White Tower still exists to carry forward the Shadow Logoth taint into the world.
I hate you so much, Pips. Sorry, my dog's barking.
All right. So I figure we lead into that. Apparently, Arengar has the hots for Grendel, and I'm kind of scared. Now I'm kind of scared for Arengar. I'm actually scared for Arengar now because you're getting close. He's considering Grendel his quarry, and I mean,
there is a scene in the Gathering Storm.
There's a reason why she's named Grendel after the Beowulf monster. So.
Yep. There is a scene in the Gathering Storm that is one of my absolute favorites that is going to pay that off in a big way.
Yeah, because right now
Gathering Storm is such a schizophrenic book. Some of the plot lines are so good and some are maths.
You're not wrong.
I'm looking forward to that. So that's all I really took away from the Forsaken chapter was basically apparently Samael resurfaced and Arengar is basically fucking with Grendel, and I don't think things are gonna end well in that regard. So he's just like, oh, go and kill Mad and Perrin. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be attacked. So, all right. So we left off where they were before. So apparently Logain is just an asshole and keeps basically keeps challenging Rand. What would you say? What was that guy's name? That one basketball player?
He's Clyde Drexler.
Clyde Drexler in the world of Michael Jordan.
Yes.
That cracked me up when you said that. So
I don't know. I feel like Logain's being pretty reasonable here. Like,
Yeah, me too.
He's more Charles Barkley.
Rand is criminally ignoring the Black
Yeah,
Tower.
like that whole-
he showed
Yes.
up once and then just dropped it in the hands of Logain and Mazrim Taim and just ignores it for the rest of the
Yeah,
series.
and we see at the
and
end.
Logain is like, dude, it's come on.
Yeah, I mean, Mazrim Time is basically become a Bond villain. So I mean,
yeah.
And I was actually thinking, I was like maybe Rand should have came by a few times, for like a half an hour to get just to check up on things,
Logain is
the issue is that at this point,
here.
And at this point, Rand is kind of terrified of what he created because he's afraid there's
Yeah.
going to be a trap
I
there
can
if he
see
ever
that.
goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's like Logain said, basically all the like the majority, I think the majority, like 99.9% of the Ashaman are allegiance to him and not Rand, not to the Dragon Reborn. So, and this private check keeps going wild. Jeez.
I feel like it'd be so cool. Like if I was kept, I like this. I like the Black Tower. It's probably like one of my favorite undeveloped things. But man, it's like they set it up so they set something up here that would have been really cool if it was in the netbook. If they would have had Logain doing something like saving the Black Tower instead of maybe fighting the battle with Time, like I wish that would have happened. But I'm not going to say anything.
So another thing to bring up is Cad Swain's rules for conduct, basically.
Good Lord.
Manners, in other words. So because Rand is like about to blow a gasket at Logain, Cad Swain basically interrupts and says, "You need to stop, or I'm going to spank you." Well, it gets to the point where he ends up
her.
He ends up dealing with was it Weramon? Was it Weramon that was the final straw?
Yeah.
It was because they go to Tyr, and I know I'm skipping, but
yeah,
they go to Tyr, and he's getting angry at the Tyrants, and then Cat Swain's like 1, like he's a little kid, and he's like 2, and then 3, and then she uses air. I think was it air to smack his bottom, and then of course fucking Nynaeve. I don't remember if Nynaeve and Min laugh or something. I don't remember. A few of them laugh. So
yeah.
If Min laughed, then that's a rare L from her. That's a rare L.
Yeah, and I when I listened to it, I got kind of annoyed, but then I was reading and I was like, you know what, maybe Cat Swain was right. Maybe
is never right.
Cad Swain is never
No, Cad Swain doesn't do. Yeah, they said it best. She's never right.
We all know that the best way to deal with a mentally unhinged young man who has the weight of the world on his shoulders is just to constantly insult and belittle him.
The way she treats him, she's lucky.
Well, that I agree with. But I think when it came to him continually blowing gaskets during critical moments, I was like, okay, maybe she's not as wrong as I thought she was. So
yeah, but maybe it's because she's always pissing him off.
So as I explained on the last stream, Brian, the reason why she behaves the way she does is because she's basically the most powerful character in the world, right? That's what
saves him. That's what saves him in the end. Was her little earrings.
Yeah, so those ornaments that can they give her the equivalent of like plate mail armor in D&D. Like you say smack her. Well, if Rand tried to punch her, like it wouldn't even land a blow. Can't channel at her. She can detect where he is or where men can channel. She's got an Angreal in there that puts her Forsaken class in terms of power. She's basically the most overpowered character that there is. It helps to explain, once you realize all of her past behavior, but I think it also makes for a pretty good payoff in an upcoming scene.
Yep.
With her and Rand. So that's in the next book.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You'll know what it is when Rand is full Darth Rand.
It is
Looking forward to
maybe
that.
my favorite
Yeah.
of
good.
the scenes from the Gathering Storm. And man, there's Stable Boy, you were not kidding. There are a lot of great scenes in the Gathering Storm.
Yes. Back when Sanderson had spine, back when he could actually write.
It is wild to like experience
Back
that
before the
now.
Cholbussy.
Back before the Cholbussy.
Good guys. The Veins of Gold ending to Gathering Storm is phenomenal.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. Just getting you excited for the next one.
Yeah, and you're succeeding. All right. So the whole I like so apparently Rand dismisses the idea that that time is a dark friend. See, we know he's a dark friend, but Rand doesn't know and all that. So I'm curious how that comes to a head.
So I'm not sure he dismisses it so much as he's like, okay, let's say you're right. Let's say that Taim is a dark friend.
Like, why would he help me?
The fuck do you want me to do about it? Like,
Yeah.
I can't just roll into the Black Tower and fight, 400 Ashaman. Like, we'd lose.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just but besides that, and of course, what else happens? The wedding. Loyal's wedding. I liked it. Loyal's wedding was good. It was good. I liked it a lot. I liked how Cat Swain's like, you don't want to keep your mother waiting, Loyal. It's like, how does she know my mother?
That was funny. I love the audiobook too, because the way they did the voices are so funny.
So yeah, we got a lot of good stuff, and I was asking about, and I know Pips, I know you answered it. I was asking about like them opening this particular book, the Book of Tradition, what that means exactly. So I thought that was like, do they go to a parallel world? Do they go to a perpendicular world or something? So.
Oh yeah, that like they're like parallel worlds.
Yeah, or is it something like the realm of the Elfin where it's different?
Yeah, Robert Jordan likes playing around with that idea. If you ever read the Warrior of the Alatai, like there's basically like that's happens in that book.
I don't think we. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, it seems like there has like these sort of parallel worlds, or like there's alien planets or dimensions or something. Obviously, because we have the Aelfin and the Eilfin. Like I think it's a transdimensional thing. The worlds of If, the other things that we see with the portal stones, and I think there isn't like a lot of definitive like info about what exactly it is. Maybe Dane knows more about it because he's a lore master.
Yeah. The earlier drafts of Wheel of Time were a lot more sci-fi. Like there's a ton of stuff still in there in terms of quantum mechanics and physics. Like Jordan studied physics and whatnot. But even going back to the Great Hunt with the Grolm, the three-eyed monsters, and then you got the Shanshan coming in. They've got Raken. He came up with like still like obviously not beasts that exist in our world. But if this is a continuation or a future history of our world, where did those come from? So he invented this whole series of, interstellar travel or distant planets, or using the power to bend space and time. So, if you can use the power to travel, which is for men, it's basically boring a hole through the pattern from one place to another. What makes you think that you have to basically stay on the same planet? So.
Interesting. Yeah,
things like that. But again, under the advice of, I believe, his editors, he was like, don't mix. They told him basically, don't mix fantasy and sci-fi. Pick a lane. And you started out, this was a fantasy. You have a magic system. It's cool and everything. If in the next one you go to sci-fi, readers will be put off by it. So I think a lot of that was pared back in the Great Hunt starting with. But he kept some of the elements that. This bout of creativity first created.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd explore that further, but that didn't happen. So
yeah, if you want
to say that until he ends up railing more gays.
Oh my God.
I was
No,
gonna
it's
say,
like,
I think it's interesting that like we always when we're talking about this series, it's always like, oh man, like what was this weird thing that he mentioned once and like didn't talk about again? And then we'll simultaneously bitch and moan about the fact that he spent like several books talking about like all sorts of weird stuff that we didn't care about. and and it's like, yeah, you can't have it both ways. You can't have him like explain everything and also like just stick to the plot.
yeah.
So he lets himself wander off on these side tangents that he was interested in spending the time on, but he
Yeah.
leaves plenty that never go anywhere. Not because he didn't maybe have an answer for that in his head, but it was like, well, this can this can't be 75 books of the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, but the only thing I'm saying that's unfortunate is maybe like things that we think are cool, right? He didn't spend the time on, but then he does have an entire chapter in New Spring about Moraine buying dresses.
Well, first of all, I mean, what kind of dresses are we talking about? How much lace?
Exactly.
What are the cutouts
How much
like?
buzzing?
No, I think it's cool too because I'm looking at my shelf and I'm like, oh, I have all the Robert Jordan, I have all the Conan books that he wrote, and I feel like it's cool because there are those things in there, and it's like this is such a clear toss back to like writing Pulp Fiction and stuff like that, which is just fun. I've read a lot of Pulp Fiction lately. Like I got to read some of found George R. R. Martin's Dream Songs Volume 1, which has a lot of his kind of stuff like that, and I've been reading like all other authors too.
Is that something else he's wasting time on while not writing Game of Thrones?
No, this is like actually before he wrote Game of Thrones, and I'd almost say some of the work in there is better than some of the stuff in Game of Thrones. But that's for a different stream, not this one.
How many Conans did he?
I think there's like 3, and it's one book I have. Yeah, 3. They're really good. I've read 2 of them. I need to
I
finish.
wrote like 6 of them. I guess not.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's the problem with asking how many did he write. Like, there's a difference between like volumes and collections and novellas and like.
Sure. Robert Jordan, right?
Yeah, these ones are like
Define book.
like
7. He wrote 7 Conan novels from 1980 to 1984.
Wow. Yeah, but I think a lot of times those 7 are bundled into like 3 collections. So it's like 3 like physical books that you buy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I liked how let me look and see if I can find it. I liked how the chapter ended. How did the Ogier put it? Let me see. I have to find this. Sorry. Bear with me. Vows. There we go. Up axes and clear the field. Trollocs coming. Yeah, I like that. I thought it was cool.
I like Loyal's mom too.
Me
She's like,
too.
no, we're done. We're doing this. You're getting married now. Preacher.
Yeah, we're not
the
chasing
vows,
you
please.
Yeah, when did we see them last? We saw them last in Lord of Chaos when they go with Rand to Shader Logoth.
Yeah.
To once again close off the ways or something.
Mhm.
So now we get to as Will calls it, the anime parts. So there's fire, arrows of fire. Sounds like a Zelda thing actually. Death gates and blossoms of fire. So okay, so I got a question here that I was kind of curious about. So apparently Rand is wrestling the power with Luce Theron. Explain that to me.
Rand's crazy.
He's not
insane.
crazy. Dude, it's like 2 people trying to grab a steering wheel of one car, and I mean, like, Luce Theron like realizes that he has to do this stuff because they're gonna die if he doesn't. And Rand's like, "What the hell? He can't hold him back," and then he does it. But the good thing that came out of it is now the Ashaman know a bunch more cool shit than they did before.
Yeah,
My
imagine
question
you're
is,
like
who's teaching Logain? Who is teaching him?
Rand.
Imagine you're Logain or like any of the other
No,
Ashaman,
but like
you're like I've been fighting alongside the dragon for a while. Like we're bros. We were in we were in sort of west of Ilian together and stuff. Like, we know what's up. And then all of a sudden, you just see Rand just going absolute ham over here, just doing all. You're like, that son of a bitch.
Hey, check your mic. You're popping a little bit. So,
yeah.
Sorry.
So I was gonna I asked this in the Discord about death gates. So the rule with gateways is that shadow spawn cannot go in it, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Besides
Does
the
that-
golem,
does that-
I think.
They can go through, but they die.
Does the golem is the golem the exception?
The golem's the exception, I think.
This isn't the golem a shadow spawn too?
Golem
It's a
is not
shadow
an
spawn.
Power
exception.
doesn't affect the golem though.
Yeah, I can go through.
I thought the
Okay.
golem
So-
would do skimming. I didn't think the golem could go through gates.
No, I think
No,
you can
I-
go
No,
I'm
the
pretty
golem
sure-
don't. The golem don't
Pretty sure
travel.
it's a
The
Sanderson
issue would
mistake.
the issue would be whether or not contact with the weave would basically unmake the weave.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you do a death gate and you throw that at the golem, it's just like every other weave that you try and channel at them. It just melts, kind of exactly like.
So then they can't go
Matt's
through.
medallion.
They can't go through a gate then because
They never. When do they do? Like, I don't think the golem ever goes through a gate.
Well, doesn't Samael
Yes.
send the golem and Crown of Swords?
Not through a gate though.
Hmm.
He found
This
one in a
is-
stasis box, but then
We're
because
rapidly
the
approaching
Spoilers.
German Shepherd territory.
Yeah.
So all right, but sorry, that wasn't that's not a relevant.
I like the manner fight.
No, there were speculation back in the day before the golem, and you'll see like the golem plot does get resolved. There's a payoff coming, but they were all wondering like, well, how the hell are you going to kill this thing, right? Is Matt going to have a confrontation and basically take his medallion and melt through his brain or something like that? What are ways that you can kill
does
something?
the golem even have a brain?
Exactly. Like all this stuff was speculated. There is a solution to it, which was actually one of the top ones from that Wheel of Time FAQ back in the day. So when it does happen and you'll see it, oh, okay, good. But when I read it, I was like, he ripped that off of the internet. Because guys were totally
It
saying
makes
how this-
sense in universe, though.
Yeah,
because
it does.
it's kind of isn't that why the medallion hurts the golem is because they kind of function.
Yeah, they're like
similarly?
Uno reverse, like the same
Yeah.
thing. So it's
the
like
one power doesn't really work on either of them.
I feel like cancels itself out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the issue of like, okay, what kind of weave what kind of magic would you use to try and kill a golem if it melts on him? It's like the same issue of what happens with Matt. But remember, and this is a little bit helpful, you had Aes Sedai characters speculating how they could actually hurt Matt with that medallion on the whole ride down to Abu Dar.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, freaking Elaine.
Yes, while Elaine was
Elaine
trying
naive.
to
Elaine naive.
That part is funny though. They're all just trying to. They keep poking at him.
That was mean. That was mean.
Does this work? No, that doesn't. Oh, but
Should've-
we can
should've
throw
spanked-
stuff
should've
at
spanked
him.
both of them.
Oh, how she thought first, basically claiming that the Terangrial was hers by right because she's an Aes Sedai, and then being like, "Oh, you're a loyal subject of Andor, aren't you?" And then like Matt laughs at her face.
Exact sequence of events happens twice.
Yeah.
I don't care who the feds send. I'm not giving up my property.
I'm not buying.
So basically,
back to death gates.
So the death gates basically open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, and then
And
they move
spin.
towards. Oh, they
So
spin
cool.
too.
So
And then the
cool.
infinitesimal edge, right? It's like the ultimate razor blade. And just so happens that if any shadow spawn actually goes through one, they'll die too.
Okay, I got a question for you. All right, so what if you made what would happen if you made a gate, and let's just say you're Pips and you're too tall for the gate, and you don't duck? What does it cut your head off or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
If you
established when like Rand was fighting in Viridian, and like he hit the heel of his boot cut off when the gate closed. He's following
And when the Shido are all scattering at the end of Crown of
say,
Swords
yeah.
or Lord of Chaos, there was like one guy who got cut in half cleanly as the gate closed on him, and like the front half fell out somewhere and the back half fell out the other way.
But if you try to touch the edge of a gate, it's like it's sharper than a razor, basically. So okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
definitely,
let's put it this way. So if I'm getting your question correctly here, so if I were to like, there's a gateway that's open, it's the width of a doorway, and if I were to like just walk onto it, but like walk so that if it was an actual doorway, I would like bump into the frame, right? So like I'm walking to the edge. So it's not that it's opening or closing. It's not that I'm coming at it from the side or something like that. Just think about it this way. The part of you that is inside the edge of the gateway is now 1,000 miles away from the part of you that is outside of the edge of the gateway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right. Yeah, you're okay. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And there's no Disney Star Wars lightsaber rules to see.
Yeah, I had to use you as the example, Pips. So my bad.
What? Where you can get stabbed through the gut and then survive?
Exactly. Self-cauterized wounds. Totally
It's like
fine.
to read Sunnier.
Or if you've read the most recent Dungeon Crawler, Carl, maybe you could be a half Mantar.
That was the. Oh. It's the worst mental image that he's ever done in his books.
It is shocking how good that series is that I actually gave a shit about those characters.
It's fun.
So we get a nice little aftermath here. They basically burn all the corpses. Ends up being a full-time job. Waste management, I guess you could call it.
Yep.
I think who shows up? Does anybody show up? Oh yeah, doesn't Bashir show up? Yeah, Bashir shows up and says, "Hey, I got you an appointment with the daughter of the Nine Moons. So we're gonna go see the daughter of the Nine Moons." And Rand's like, "Yeah, finally."
A lot of meetings with the Shan going on.
Yeah, lots of them. I'm surprised this book hasn't been called Shan Chan of Dreams. Yeah, that was stupid.
Well, I mean, the Knife of Dreams quote is from the Shan, I think. Quote at the start of the book.
Is it?
No, I think that's
It's from
Steel. It's by the general that Matt quotes all the time.
Yeah, Path of Daggers is the one you're thinking of. That's saying.
Is Fog and Steel kind of like, is Fog and Steel this book's version of Art of War or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it.
I get the impression
Matt remembers reading it, but it's from his other memories.
It's more von Clausewitz.
Stop nitpicking.
Yeah. It's probably more of just like a random tactics book than like.
No, the reason that I say it's more von Clausewitz is because the joke about von Clausewitz is that he's the most quoted and least read of any sort of like strategic writer. And it's because it's absurdly long and goes on about nonsense, but there's some like really great quotes there, and that's what I think of as Fog and Steel. And also, Robert Jordan would have probably had to read von Clausewitz.
I wonder if I have Clausewitz.
I'm looking this guy up. I don't think I've heard of this guy. Oh well, I'll look at it later. We have running out of time. On War. There you go.
I know I'm about to turn into a pumpkin.
So I'm not sure. We get the aftermath. Luce Theron wants to die basically at Tarmogoyf. Varen leaves a message saying you can trust Cad Swain, but be careful who you trust or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Varen has a good track record with messages.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Oh, apparently Rand and that guy from the that guy that rescues him in Shader Logoth are connected because of the balefire. The balefire.
Dreams touch.
They cross the streams.
They cross the streams. So now they're attached.
So the metaphysical way to reconcile this, and this is going down a deep frickin' rabbit hole, never explained in the books for this is like fan theory about what's going on. But if you balefire, the universe doesn't know which balefire stream is supposed to cancel out the other one. And the only way to reconcile the paradox that it creates is that both balefire streams had to come from the same source.
Now if I remember correctly in Crown of Swords, the balefires just managed to intersect. It wasn't intentional for them to intersect, but it's like one kind, they just intersected at the sation point on Mashadar, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
correct.
All right.
Yeah, they're fighting it out, but the key thing is Moradin with his true power Dark One version of Balefire, and then there's Rand's Sadine version of Balefire. But the paradox that it creates in universe basically means that there needs to be a connection formed between the two such that they're linked beings now.
Yep.
So that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how this plays out, but I think it gives me but it kind of explains because I accidentally know one of the spoilers of the ending.
Mhm.
And it kind of
It
explains
explains
that
something at the
particular
end.
spoiler. So in order for Rand to live, he must die. Let's just say so. All right. So I'm curious how exactly it plays out. So can't wait to get to that. A few books left. Let me say so. Yeah. Oh, I got. I'm just gonna fucking read this. This was like I could not believe what I was listening to this and I got very emotional.
Hey,
I got
Brian.
very
Wait,
emotional.
should we allow the exits
Yeah,
real quick?
we're like closing on our house tomorrow and we're gonna start moving. So
Oh.
yeah, we're gonna get up not super early, but it's gonna be a very long day. So
Oh,
that's awesome though.
yeah, Balefire Ranch. Let's go.
It's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
it's good. It's fulfilling.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I will watch the rest of this tomorrow, man. I'm excited to hear the Perrin breakdown.
Yeah, we're officially Devon Ride people, I think.
Devon Ride people.
Yeah, that's where we are in the U.S. Hey, take care, guys.
All right, take care.
Boy.
How the rest of you guys holding up? Pips, how are you holding up? Do you need to bounce too?
Hey, how much longer you think you're going here?
I just probably not even less than half an hour.
Sweet, man. I can hang out.
Cool. Prophet's probably went to the bathroom or something, or he's dealing with his kids. How about you? How about the rest of you guys? You guys are good?
I'm
I'll be
back
good.
out for a bit, but I should be back.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna say it. What the heck is it? What the fuck is it? I lost it. Where is it? Wait. Here we go. Wait. Where is it? All right. This is the one time I'm going to quote this character, or maybe she does more stuff in the future. I don't know. My name is Nynaeve T. Almera Mandragoran. The message I want sent is this: my husband rides from World's End towards Tarwin's Gap, toward Tarman Gaiden. Will he ride alone?
Yeah, this is the turning point of the book, Brian. I when you were reading it, I knew this was kind of coming because I'd say for the first 15, 20 chapters or so, like it is feeling like it felt for me like just a continuation of Crossroads of Twilight. But as soon as we got the Nynaeve part, aftermath of the battle and all, that was all cool, but especially, oh shit, Nynaeve is going around basically helping Lan raise an army. And then the book actually doesn't let up till the ending. So the back half of Knife of Dreams is when all the action happens, and it's just payoff. And the good thing too about the Sanderson books, the pacing is a lot better, and you just get payoff after payoff after payoff.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that are there are a lot of things that are left.
Yeah, and
so.
I've said this before, and like Robert Jordan did all the setup work necessary for all those payoffs. Because what is the story according to Sanderson? It's promise, progress, payoff. The 3 P's of a story. So you got to have an early promise. There's got to be progress towards it, or else people aren't going to feel cheated. And there has to be a payoff at the end. When Sanderson came in to finish off the Wheel of Time, the first 2 P's, promise and progress, were already done, and he just knocked out 3 books worth of payoffs.
Mm-hmm. So, I thought this was fantastic. I actually this was one of those things because if you guys know me, I'm not the best at when it comes to listening to audiobooks. Like unless it really grabs my attention, my mind's gonna wander off and stuff. So I always end up having to read it anyways. So, but yeah, this was a good one. This was a really good one. I actually not only did I have goosebumps, but I had some tears come in my eyes too. So I'm glad that they're finally moving with Lan and Malkier. That was set up all the way in book 1. So, and I don't know if there's anything else with Rand. I mean, well, yeah, of course, there's the they go to Tyr. I forget why they go to Tyr.
Steal the rebels, right?
Oh yeah, to basically order them to go to. So that he's placing troops in Eridomon so he can crush the Shan if things go south with this upcoming negotiation. So skipping a few chapters, we get to what's up.
Does he speak with Darlin at all? Or?
Yeah, he speaks with Darlin at the very end. That was the very final thing. He's like, why are you here? He's like, well, because I need you to go. I need you to prepare for Tarmangaiden, basically. Go to Eridomon and all that. So I thought he was going there to crush the Shan. So, well, it could be both. So, why not both?
Yeah, it's a contingency, but also Eridomon is a country that's basically in ruins. So they're all starving up there. But that's more revealed in the next book.
You'll get a lot of stuff in Eridomon in the next book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we get to the final. We get to the meeting with the daughter of the 9 moons. And he takes basically Min and Catswain and Nynaeve. I'm surprised. I don't know. I was kind of like, was that a good idea to bring Min to something that was potentially dangerous? I'm like, why did she have to be there?
Yeah. You're right.
So, Catswain, Nynaeve, Narishma, Logain, I could see, but Min, awesome art though. I like that. I like the art where he's got the crown on. He's wearing the green coat. He's carrying the scepter. He's carrying the scepter, and she's right behind him and all that. And then you have Semiraj, shooting the fireball at him. So
I think that's one of the covers. Yeah.
I it's fun. I don't know if you guys would agree with me. Probably not, because it's me. I think I would have liked this with Min as the point of view character to see how that all played out with Semiraj. Rand goes down. You're like, oh, what's going to happen now?
I can see that. It's not a bad idea. No.
Rand is the only one.
A little underwhelmed.
Rand is the only one that would recognize her because he has Lewis Theron's memories.
Yeah.
So the scene and the danger, which happens with the reveal, it wouldn't mean much to any other character's point of view. That's the unfortunate.
But doesn't he say that out loud though? Like before she attacks, he's like, "Oh, it's Semiraj," and so we know. And then Semiraj attacks because of the winking.
So maybe you could do the Min point of view if you want to do that, and then like Rand audibly.
Kind of muffling.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear you.
He's underwater.
Water? Fuck it. Okay.
All right, now you sound better.
I just turned the mic up. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe
did I make my point?
Maybe you're actually in Teleron Riyadh, and maybe Raven filled your your whole apartment with water, and you better watch out for some piranhas that are going to come and bite you.
No, it won't happen. There are no piranhas up here.
Yeah,
I kind of wish one of the Forsaken would just make like a gun or something in the dream world.
And the other thing to note too, Brian, though, in a lot of the Rand chapters is because he has the bond with Min now, especially, you get kind of Min's point of view as Rand feels it, right?
Yeah.
So there is that element to that as well. So I think it's a good choice for this one to do it in Rand, especially the fact that basically he loses his hand and then he doesn't care about it a moment later, that he's moved on. And then that causes Min to start crying, basically.
Yeah. I was asking because I actually accidentally found out about that by looking at the Gathering Storm cover.
The classic cover.
Yeah. So I found out that he loses his hand, and I was just like, is it gonna be like a Luke Skywalker moment? Nope. Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Well, it's a reference to Tyr from Norse mythology.
Yeah.
How the hell is this guy an artist? I don't know.
Who Daryl
This just sometimes it just looks goofy, man. Like
the environment are really good though.
Look at Avienda's eyeshadow on this fucking.
Oh yeah, did I tell you I was completely wrong about who the characters were on this art? I kept thinking this was Rand, this was Davram Bashir, and that was Egwene. I'm totally wrong. This is Gaul. This is
Perrin.
No, this is Perrin.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny Perrin.
This is isn't this
Galena.
Alejandro's guy?
Oh yeah, Captain Galen or somebody.
Galen is Berlane's guy.
Oh, whoops.
I forgot the other guy's
Whichever
name.
one doesn't have an eye patch. Whichever one.
Yeah, and then this is Galena. All right. You know what? This is a good place. Speaking of Galena, and this let's do parents. They beat the Shido, and Perrin rescues Fio. Okay, we're done. I was heartbroken, and I loved how the chapter 30. I loved how it ended with him saying, "Call me Perrin, call me," and then the Sean Shannon was like, "Call me Tylee," and all that. I really liked how that ended. So the parent stuff was
it's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
A lot of setup. The main personal criticism that I have with this is that fork root was used so extensively in the battle plan, because 6 months ago in World, no one had heard of this thing before, and now it's being industrially produced at a mass scale.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that they put it in a cistern and they are able to douse all the Aiel channelers. And
I'm trying to remember.
Wrote himself into a hole.
So I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what happened. I'm trying to remember how this plan played out. So they meet the Sean Chan. They go and they meet the Sean Chan. That was the end of book 10, Crossroads. They set up. They go meet the Sean Chan. They meet Tylee and her second, or her second or something like that. And I thought it was very interesting because we learn about the another thing that was set up for Perrin, and that's him with the hammer, him with the the prophecy with the hammer or something. I'm trying to remember where it was.
Yeah, when the Wolf King carries the hammer, the final days known, with the blah 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 blah, and the trumpets of battle are blown.
I'm taking that hammer.
Yeah.
Since you guys
since
you guys keep saying that Perrin's based off of Thor, that his hammer is basically based off of Mjolnir.
Yep.
Mjolnir, I think was the name.
Just wait until he gets his hammer and gives it a name in the next book.
Okay.
Next book. That's Towers of Midnight.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's in 2 books from now.
So yeah, so that happens, and then they go forward with the plan. I forget, like they climb into the aqueduct, and then they go they go all the way to the, what was it, they hide in this one warehouse or something like that until they hear like wolves howling or something like that. And apparently Galena promised him, and she was, I liked how she was like, oh, I'm not really, or I like how she completely tried to deceive them. And I don't know if this was because of the rod that she couldn't physically try to escape or something, or think that she could escape or something like that.
Yes, she's Black Aja, so she's not subject to the oaths, but she is subject to new oaths that they bound her with, the Aiel specifically.
Yeah.
But she'll just straight up lie to Perrin. In fact, Perrin, I think, notes that afterwards. Didn't Galena send you here? No, she didn't do that. I didn't know she could lie. But yeah, Perrin's expecting that Fael and them would kind of go to a safe space and would avoid most of the battle. But that didn't happen.
That didn't happen, no. So did they dump the what do you call it, the fork root? Did they dump it into the aqueduct?
In the cisterns, and then the aqueduct brings the water supply in. So they basically brewed a very, very weak tea, but it was enough to knock out the channelers.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought there was an interesting section I'm recalling with Berlain talking to Tylene. So apparently they're like real distant cousins, because they descend from Pendrag or something.
Yeah.
So that's
Hawkwing, Arthur Hawkwing.
Yeah, Berlin's last name is like a House of Pendrag, but it's one of the realms that basically formed out of the fall of Hawkwing's empire. But I mean, in all practical purposes, they're not related. Like, you go back 1,000 years, you're related to fucking everyone on the planet. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many people are related to Genghis Khan, right?
You maybe.
Maybe you.
No. I did my 23andMe test. I got no Mongolian.
Yeah, but how about Mongolian?
Oh, you got me. Goddamn Mongolians.
Pips, jeez.
Pips probably is, since he's a horse, so he's probably related to the Mongols.
Stallion that announced the world.
But yeah, so that's my one gripe about the fight, is basically the central role that Forkroot plays in it. But
if I could offer something that might
kind of written into a corner, there's no other.
That.
Okay,
so the idea is not that like Forkroot didn't exist; it's that it wasn't known to have this effect. So imagine that Forkroot is like an actually very commonplace weed, like nettle or something like that. And it's just not something that most people drink for a tea, because it doesn't like taste amazing, and also doesn't like do anything.
Yeah, but
and so then when you get to the section where it's the Shan Shan sort of functionary who's describing how they're doing it, they're like, yeah, we were sending people out into the woods to go pick it, which means that it's like a very common like weed. Like you like go out and find a bunch of stuff, and then establishing farms to go grow it. I don't think it's crazy to think that they would be able to go out and gather like literally tons of just wild fennel or something like that,
Except that's not what was established, right? Rhonda Macura, it's like it grows on the Shadow Coast or whatever it is. Nynaeve didn't even know what it was.
So the fact that
no Aes Sedai ever heard of an herb that did this, right? And there's this whole connection between herbs and witch women and healing and magic and all this other stuff. And you're saying if for 3,000 years or more, because you go back to the Age of Legends, no one knew that this common weed had this property. At the end of the day, I think he just wrote Fork Fruit when he needed to have the girls kidnapped in The Shadow Rising, or sorry, in Fires of Heaven early, but that he turned it into this industrially produced thing. Logical that the Shan Chen would make sense. I just don't think that they'd be able to make enough in a couple months' time to do the plot. That's all. But how else was he going to solve the problem, right? Because he got Fail imprisoned in a freaking battle camp with 400 female channelers that have absolutely no restrictions on them whatsoever.
Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, I don't know. It looks like we lost Pips.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
I
at
didn't just
the
defeat him with
cut
my
his
argument?
Wi-Fi.
Damn it.
Yeah, no, he's having trouble with his Wi-Fi. So
He's not conceding.
I think he got struck
scared
by
him.
lightning or something.
He's running.
Yeah, so we lost Pips. So all right, I'll say good night. You gotta listen to the end. I put something. I put something for you. Okay. All right. So, all right. So, all right. Let's. Okay. So they go through with the plan. Basically, they go in. They manage to. I forget how the battle was laid out. So Perrin basically runs to the city. You know, he is fire after all.
Just like like the Aes Sedai make like a fog, right, to like cover them, and then Masema has like him and his like guys on one side that he's using as like meat shields. Meanwhile, you have the actual competent fighters somewhere on the other side, and they're gonna be ones actually like kind of handling the main assault, while Masema's guys are just meat shields because he has the biggest number.
And then you have all the Two Rivers longbows shooting from a distance, trying to take out as many Aiel before they get into close combat. All of the Shido wise women are basically stumbling around like they're drunk because successfully poisoned them with the fork root, which is good. And then just a fog-based battle where Perrin gets the battle lust.
Yeah. So,
and also remember, more than half the battle, as described, is basically from Fail's point of view, where she gets trapped in the house with Megan.
So they give her the they give Galena the rod basically, and they're like, you guarantee that we're gonna come with? They're like, yeah, sure. And then she leaves. I forget what her excuse was for her to leave the house first, so that she can spring her little cave in.
Gonna check to see if the coast is clear. Yeah, exactly.
Of course, yeah.
Coast is clear.
How did she lie to us? So, yeah. So we get the. So I don't know okay, fuck Melina. You know, she's a bitch. She's gonna get what's coming to her, which I accidentally found out. So we go into the battle. They're fighting. They're taking. There's a lot of Shido out there. Perrin's running into he's trying to get through the encampment. There's Shido all over the place, and all of a sudden, Aram attacks him, and then Aram basically gets himself killed because there were enemies about. He chose an interesting time to try and kill Perrin, and he basically says, "Hey, he's like, I should have known you were Shadow Spawn." So he obviously got manipulated by Masema,
by Steve,
and now he's blame Steve, and now he's gone. And I'll be honest, I know, Dane, I know you warned me a long time ago when we were doing Shadow Rising, that his story wasn't going to be a happy one. And so I was like, okay. So I had an idea that he was going to die. I wasn't sure what he was going to do exactly. So this was one of those cases where, one of those tropes where, in the middle of battle, enemy, your ally turns on you. And so, yeah, I'm curious, like, like Perrin blames himself. He blames himself for giving him the sword. But I'm like, at this point, like, he could have forced him to, I think he said he could have forced him to go back to the Tinkers. But I'm like, how can you go back to the Tinkers? With what happened.
I'm honestly curious as to what RJ's motivation was for this character, because it didn't seem like he didn't have a satisfying journey or arc, but perhaps it's just him, like it's cathartic for him to write. I would wager that there were a ton of like younger kids in Vietnam, like if he was a little bit older or whatnot, young, fresh-faced kids that had really peaceful upbringings. And then they basically also got drunk on war, or they let the war and violence kind of seep into them, and it destroyed them.
Yeah, like
so basically, So basically, Perrin. I'll get to you, Staple. But yeah, basically, Aram is basically what happens if you basically what Elias warned Perrin of. If you like the sword, or if you like the axe, put it down. That's when you got to put it down, and. I guess Aram was a cautionary tale in that regard. But I'm curious, like, what happened in between Shadow Rising and Lord of Chaos, because I wasn't, or actually no, maybe it was Crown of Swords, where he first started exhibiting that behavior, because he wanted to murder. He was willing to murder Aes Sedai right after the Dumai's Wells battle, and Perrin's like, strip that shit out of your mind, bro. So,
yeah. And
then Perrin wasn't really in a position, even though, like, I think he also, I don't know if Aram needed more support, he needed a friend or something like that. But Perrin wasn't really in a position where he could do that.
Yeah, and
Perrin's the Lord, and everyone else. I mean, I don't know. You can't really, you can't really be friends with people below you.
A couple things. Perrin might have misinterpreted his hero worship for Fail, Aram's hero worship, as worship for himself. So there's that element to it too. So Aram might have been basically falling for Fail for a long time. At least that's what his motivation is for the end, because he was going to kill Perrin and save Fail from him.
That was a weird one. That's one that made me think, like, okay, so there's a point here. And I brought up this question. I know Staple, I know you answered it in the Discord, but I'm curious if, like, there was a chance that there was a chance of redemption, or not even redemption, but I'm curious if this was premeditated, because he begs Perrin to go on this mission, crawling in the aqueduct, and Perrin refuses because Perrin doesn't really trust him. Perrin doesn't trust him. So I'm curious if this was like a last straw, and that's what made him decide to kill Perrin.
Or if he was trying to kill Perrin the whole time, and he was
or versus that, yeah. I mean, if it was the former, and like you said, it would have been way more tragic. And I'm kind of leaning towards that, maybe because I want to lean towards it, that he wasn't fully gone.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can read it either way, right? There's not really an answer, like, in the text, so you can kind of read it either way, I think.
Because I'm trying to remember what other shit, Dane, do you remember what other shit he pulled, that Aram pulled, that caused Perrin not to trust him? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember.
Well, I think he was giving Perrin a lot of, like, weird, like, looks and stuff, I believe.
And it's the smell. So remember, Perrin analyzes a lot of other characters by his sense of smell.
Yeah.
And Aram has been smelling wrong for a long time. And the only other real character that evoked that in him was Missima, I believe. So Missima smelled crazy or insane, and Aram was beginning to kind of smell that way too.
And so, because I'm thinking about the reason why I bring up friends and support is because he ended up finding that in Missima, and then Missima used that to manipulate him.
And Missima too is also being a bit manipulated. But I think, as far as where Aram's story kind of fits, it's also the cautionary tale of someone who utterly rejects their own upbringing and then
that's what I was
and
going to bring up too.
goes the complete reverse opposite.
Yeah.
So Aram was raised super pacifist as a tinker, and then he basically embraced violence wholeheartedly, and it destroyed him.
He's dealing.
By the way, sorry to interrupt. Salty, thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. I ironically don't throw change at the homeless, and here I am giving my hard-earned dollar to Brian. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and kind of like adding on to like Dane's point, I think part of Aram's like character is to be kind of like a dark reflection of Perrin, where like he's like if Perrin never chose to put away the axe, right? He's a Perrin who kept going.
He's kind of the opposite of
got consumed by his bloodlust.
Yeah, Alan, I'm sorry I interrupted you. What were you?
No, I was just adding on to what Dane brought up. What I was going to say is as well. Like he's dealing with a crisis of faith. It's not just that he's rejecting his upbringing. It's that he's from a pretty pretty extreme upbringing. You know, not quite like almost cult like in their.
It's pretty cult-like.
They're extreme dogmatic beliefs, like you know,
like they will
right?
choose their beliefs. I mean, this is one of they choose their beliefs over their kin.
Yes, like they're willing to let people die, you know, because they reject violence so much, right? That is really dogmatic.
And they expect Aram to follow suit, even though I'm assuming he not only he witnessed his mother getting murdered.
Exactly. Yeah, when he's confronted with the reality that Perrin shows him, like, hey, look, you know, this might not be the best way to do things because a lot of people die. He has that crisis of faith, but it leaves a huge void, and unfortunately, it gets replaced with another very extreme dogma that is Massima's craziness.
That is the prophet of the Dragons YouTube videos. Yeah,
he was radicalized by YouTubers.
What is happening?
You know, it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of a whole bunch of different tragic things that led to this tragic ending for Aram, and I think it's brilliant.
Yeah,
and I definitely think that RJ had seen plenty of kids exactly like this.
Yeah,
right. That didn't come back from Vietnam.
Yeah, so it's not just the religion. It's the PTSD war stuff too. You know, it's a whole bunch of things smushed together.
Yeah, the kid's not coming back from the kid's not coming back from Vietnam. Thing I saw when what was it, Eben Hopwell, and what was the other young dude, young Ashaman that died?
Fedwin Moore.
That's what I attributed those deaths to.
Oh, and the falling like snow, like that's back in Path of Daggers, but when I think it was Fedwin explaining how he had to basically take out this whole detachment and then like hide the evidence, so he burned them all to cinders. And then the ash was falling like snow, and you're just like, fuck, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I griped about that at the time because RJ had already escalated this story to Dumai's Wells levels, and then he was getting kind of very personal and poetic about what war does to young kids. But it was great, but it's just out of sequence because once you go Super Saiyan in your story, you just have to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, so that happens, and then, basically Perrin runs in, and he smashes the shit out of Roland. So Roland,
good riddance.
Roland pinched his last spot. Roland pinched Fail's bottom for the last time.
I still don't know if I'm meant to feel bad for Roland or not, because like the guy's a piece
of
shit.
I do not. I do not, because he was going to take her away. He was going to carry her off.
Participating in the slavery and the sexual.
She did like it.
The murder and all the stuff.
Look what she was wearing.
He wasn't nothing at all. Nothing at all.
She was asking for it, man.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
And Fayola is the one who gets him killed because she yells out Perrin's name, which causes Roland to hesitate, and then Perrin just bashes his head in.
Did Roland hesitate because of Taviran?
Maybe, but the end of the day, Fail got him killed. That's what I'll be saying. But I mean, Fail does not. That's not a good look for her. What she did in this whole thing. That being said, like she would have died without him.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's written and meant to be kind of a tragedy for Fail. Because can she feel guilty about Roland's death?
Even though Roland's a scumbag.
Absolutely not. But then,
Anyway.
I don't know.
But the sad thing is it goes nowhere. So, okay, plot's done, essentially.
Yeah, so oh yeah, well, you know what? Roland does rescue Fael, so...
Yeah, rescued her from the house, but also the night that she was hogtied and left to freeze, he basically rescued her there with a brazier to keep her warm and massaged her. And a couple other times.
But he's not doing it for any altruistic reasons. He's doing it because he wants to bang her.
Well, why else do men do anything for women?
Yeah, I completely like I forget if he did. Yeah.
It's not that
So,
complicated.
yeah.
Alan, I need you to help me here.
So he gets her, and then I think they flee. A whole bunch of them flee or something. They figure. Perrin gets really mad at what's her name? Alice. What does she call herself? What does Galena call herself? Like, because they find out that she never showed up and she never helped. And like, that bitch, you know.
She gets her comeuppance.
Well, we'll get to that. So, and Ty Lee shows up. There's this thing with Gaul. He's looking for Chiet, and all the maidens are giving him the wrong information or something like that, so he can't find her or something. And they're like, was it like an Aiel humor moment or something?
Yeah,
yeah, probably. But they're both Guy Shine, so
but then Guy Shine can like transfer to other people or something.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be, but I
don't
know what kind of head
so
games
dishonorable that I'm not sure if like
But
the regular rules.
Doesn't Bane and Chiad come back with them or something, or do they?
Yeah, but they remain Guy Shine for the rest of the story.
Because they have to a year and a day, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So
don't worry, Gaul sticks around with Perrin.
Golf sticks around, and then of course we see Ty Lee turn up, and she's got naked Savannah on horseback. I forget, doesn't she spank her at some point?
I think so. Yes.
Of course she does. Or she friends for more spanking or something.
Brian, if you ever need to ask if a spanking happens in Wheel of Time, the answer is yes.
Yeah. And so they take Savannah. But where are the other wise ones? Oh, wait. Thurava was wise, and she fled. She wanted to leave in the first place. She didn't want to stay, and so she fled, and she catches up with her little Lena. Little Lena. Little Lena is... she catches up with little Lena, and she gives her some more. She's like, give me that rod. And she gives her more instructions with the rod, and to the point where Galena is completely trapped in her custody and can never escape.
Yeah,
and they go back to the Threefold Land, and little Lena's going to be there for the rest of her life. And I forget, doesn't because she's nice to die, she gets to deal with this for like hundreds of years.
Yeah,
she's already pretty old.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because she's older than Elida. She's older than.
She rose to highest of the Black Aja and the Red Aja.
And she was responsible for like a whole bunch of murders and torments. Oh, what's funny is I said this in the Discord, and then in Lord of Chaos, Lucian's like, "Where's Galena? I'm gonna kill her," and then all of a sudden, Perrin's in the same position, like, "Where is she? I want to kill her." Well, nobody's going to kill her because she gets a fate worse than death.
Yeah, I mean, what happens to Galena is
She's
essentially what she was gonna
125
do to
years old.
Rand, right? So
Yeah, so every time she does something, she's gonna get beaten by Thorava with that eagle face and those eagle eye, those predatory eyes. You know.
now it always did kind of annoy me that Thorava didn't get more of a comeuppance herself because she's super evil, but
Well,
she
that's
loses.
true. That's true. But
Savannah's more evil than Thorava.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she's still going along with the enslaving and murdering and pillaging.
That's just Aiel.
I mean, not the enslaving part. At least not other people.
Yeah.
But besides Kyrie.
What wasn't Thorava one of the ones that were opposed to Savannah in the first place?
I think so. Yeah.
Especially with killing that one person in order to create a
Blame
pretext.
it on the Aes Sedai pretext to fight, and the master plan was always for Savannah just to shake her tatas in front of Rand, and that would basically get them the Karakar.
And I like how she still believes that all the way up to now.
You're
And
like,
that-
Savannah,
that,
not even Barrelane could succeed at that. Okay, you don't stand a chance.
Yeah. So let me see. Chapter 30. I think I wanted to. Did I want to read how that ended? Outside the gates. Oh yeah, For a moment, Perrin could only stare. It was a strange world. He had gone to her thinking he was making a deal with the Dark One, and the Light knew some of what the Seanchan did was beyond repugnant. It's too bad Lady B's not here. But the woman was stalwart and true to her word. I'm Perrin, Tylee, he said, grasping her sword. A very strange world. I don't know. For some reason, I felt I had a smile on my face when I was reading this, and going through this, and then the Galena stuff happened. I was like, you know what? I was upset that Thorava didn't get her comeuppance, but I don't know. Steve was right. Fuck Galena. Steve and Eldan were right. Fuck Galena. I was expecting Galena to have like a Cersei moment where there would be a comeuppance and all that, but then after just reviewing all this, where was Galena going to go? Galena had a home with Thorava. She didn't have a home anywhere else. They were going to execute her. Like she couldn't go back to the tower. She couldn't go back anywhere else. Where else was she going to go?
She could have been captured by the Seanchan and collared.
Oh, that too. That would have been.
Like,
I think that would have been preferable. I think that would have been preferable to being a
collared, but
slave
you'll
of the
get turned
Aiel.
into a dog. But now she's bound by very restrictive oaths, and she can literally never escape.
Okay, all right. So there was one question I did want to ask, and this is what we'll end the stream with. Okay, so Galena wanted the rod. How the hell? And I asked this question in the Discord. What was the plan? Did she needed another Aes Sedai to undo it? Can she undo it herself? How does that work? I forgot.
Quite likely, because I think she she had things like she wasn't allowed to pick up the rod, but someone giving it to her, right, that was allowed. So she wasn't forbidden to touch it. I think she was actually fairly close to executing her plan of channeling into it to remove all her oaths when she got caught with it by Thorava. So it's like one of those things where she's just like 5 seconds away from succeeding.
But wasn't she not allowed to channel at all, basically, because of previous commands with the rod?
I'd have to reread and double check. I don't think that was the case. I think it was more like you can't channel at us, as opposed to no channeling whatsoever. Yeah. Perhaps her plan was basically when she had the rod in her hand, she needed to do something fairly soon because she could never put it down because then she'd be fucked being unable to pick the thing back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But her whole plan was either to channel herself or find someone else to channel into it and then remove all the oaths from her.
Okay.
But she'd probably suffered that before. Like you already saw that with the Black Aja hunters in the tower, kind of what the process involves and how it can be like incredibly painful, like losing your skin or whatnot. But that's why it all happens in the books the way it does, I think. So don't know the full mechanics, but I think her plan was basically to try and get the oaths removed as quickly as possible.
Okay. All right.
But also Scrugalina. So.
Yes. Fuck yes. Screw Galena. So, all right. So that's pretty much Knife of Dreams. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of details I forgot. I forgot because I've been reading this over the course of a month. So, overall, I thought it was. I really enjoyed Perrin. This whole Perrin stuff finally resolving. The Aram stuff obviously broke my heart. The Matt stuff was okay. I got a little bored reading it, but that was just, I don't know. Maybe my expectations were a little high or something. It was still good, but I wasn't really as invested, I guess you could say. I don't know.
Did you like the Jack of the Shadows scene?
So I know I was out with the dog while you're going through most of this, but I really like the campaign that he planned and waged, and how he's basically going to light the countryside on fire to unstop or the gap, and then like sneak in, and how
I
the
was trying to get a picture of the battle, and I mean,
the Sean Chan thought he had like six times
the
soldiers.
Yeah, I think I got it right. There's a lot of detail, and sometimes I might misread or misunderstand, like positions and all that.
But also that.
And I was trying to understand that sling rod or whatever it was, because I had no frame of reference. Like I didn't know what it was, but it's like like I said, you sling stuff, dynamite, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to understand the nature of the warfare and all that. And I thought they were in the Narrows. I thought they were going to be in like a mountain pass, but no, they were actually, he built like a wall, and the Sean Chen ended up paying for it. Sorry, that was a bad joke. But yeah, that's why I didn't do the Matt stuff right away. That's why I was going to do the Matt stuff at the end, but then I read, I was like, I don't like this as much as the parent stuff. So I didn't get as much out of it. So I put Matt in the front. So that was okay. Like I liked when Matt, when they were in the freaking the hell, was kind of fun. Yeah. But I was kind of like, oh, Matt's really good.
It's not an actual hell though. It's like a regular bar, but Tuan's never been in one, so she thinks that it's
I really liked the Shiota chapter. That was probably my favorite chapter with Matt, with the sinking peddler, and of course us finding out about Moraine's letter and all that. I thought that stuff interested me. And of course there's a lot of spankings in this book. Egwene got spanked, Jolene got spanked, Rand got spanked.
The spankings will continue until morale improves.
Damani got spanked, or nearly got spanked. I think
there's so much spanking.
Jolene got spanked.
Yeah, Jolene. So yeah, best part, the part that made but the best part was the Golden Crane flies to Tarmogeddon. That was freaking awesome. Best part of the book.
Yes, that's Nynaeve's best moment in the series.
And Dane, that was, and I've been talking to Kenny. I've been talking to Pix Calcus about this. I've been messaging him too, and he says it's his favorite too. So,
yes.
But keep in mind too, like you probably hated Nynaeve in book 5. You probably couldn't stand her.
I did initially. I mean, I understood her arc and all that, and she was the reason why Rand survives the encounter with Ravin.
Okay. But is she growing on you as a character? Like, because she's getting laid now, is she less of a bitch? And then you just get a great scene here.
I have not noticed her nearly as much. So not really. But the fact is that she actually has Land's back, and obviously she wants to get, she has selfish reasons for wanting him to survive. But hey,
now that
that's love. You want your wife behind you. You want your wife to have your back. And
she gets a lot of good moments for the rest of the series, but this is why her character is seen as kind of like she turns around. So a lot of people hate Nynaeve early on. She turns into one of their favorite characters at the end, but it's moments like the Golden Crane and a lot of moments coming up in the final 3 books.
Yeah, Gathering Storm's a good book for Nynaeve as well.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like, her arc kind of ended in Crown of Swords when she nearly drowns and all that, and her block is lifted and all that. But then again, Lan rescues her, and I think he says like the same stuff, like I'm not worthy of you, and then she smacks him like, hey,
we're getting married now.
We're getting fucking married now. So,
and then she gets the mean fucked out of her. That's
pretty
all
much.
that happens. It's a great meta joke. But
and you said like in the bedroom, like Lan the Malkier way, like Lan's.
No, it's a Sea Folk custom. So again, thanks to all those Sea Folk chapters that are just so riveting, they explain that essentially they can rise and fall in hierarchy in their society many times over the course of a lifetime, right? You could be nearly like mistress of the ships, but then someone else gets promoted ahead of you, and then you get put down the bottom rank. So the way their marriages work, which is also hierarchical, the men and the women could be outranking each other at different points during their life. So what they do as a rule is if you have the higher rank in public, if you are, let's say, the ship's captain and he's only a cargo master, well, when you're in private, he's the one that rules you.
Yeah.
And then it flips. If, let's say, she gets demoted down to a deckhand and he's still the cargo master, well, then he rules in public, but she rules in private.
The Sea Folk are very strange. They're very strange people.
Yeah, and I completely forgot about their chapter, but there's really not much.
In essence, all this does is make Nynaeve blush because she orders Lan around in public, and every single time she does that, you just know in the back of your mind, oh, well, Lan's tying her up tonight.
All right, so Steve, you got anything you want to say? You there?
So he OD'd on mayonnaise.
Every time.
All right. So moment of silence for Steve and his OD on mayonnaise. All right. Okay. But yeah, I completely forgot about the Hareen. How do you say the stupid name? Hareen Tagara Twins chapter.
Oh.
Okay. Only thing that happens is Logain shows up. They got to deliver supplies to Bandar Eben, and the Amayar are dead. Basically, they just report that the Amayar are dead. They all committed suicide, basically. So
tragic. Cool. They're all Gnostics anyway.
Gnostics.
God.
Knowledge.
I'm not wrong.
All right.
Gnosticism meaning knowledge or something. If I remember.
Well, they think reality is an illusion.
So isn't it Hindu?
It's an early Christian heresy, right? That believes all like evil is material and all good is spiritual.
What aspect? Is there an aspect of Gnosticism?
Well,
there's a whole bunch of there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of early Christian movements that
there's a lot of old heretics
ate each other up until Nicaea. But oh well, that's another thing for another time. So. All right, so that's Knife of Dreams. Decent book. Is it my favorite? No, it's not my favorite. But it does finally resolve stuff from books 7, 8, heck, even from book 6, from book 1. So yeah, so that's it. All right, Knife of Dreams done. Robert Jordan, rest in peace. I'm curious what else he's written besides... obviously New Spring, and he obviously wrote the epilogue. And of course there was chapters he wrote that were re-edited by Sanderson.
Yeah.
He didn't write in order, obviously, according to him. So
we know about certain chunks. We know.
Yeah, I think
certain chunks.
Epilogue. We know there's a big Matt chunk that he wrote.
Yeah, the end of Tars of Midnight, I think, is largely Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
So like all the Moraine stuff he wrote.
Yeah.
But
yes.
What about
it's good.
What about Rand?
Definitely the ending. Definitely what Rand does during the last battle. It's explained, but the ending in particular, his realization. Don't want to spoil anything, but there's a really good realization that he has while he's doing his last battle. The mechanics about how he actually succeeds. Oh, spoiler alert, he does. And I like to think the arc of him almost going insane, and then the veins of gold. Although I think in particular, Sanderson did write the veins of gold passage.
Yeah.
But everything was kind of leading there. This is where Rand needs to have a major epiphany.
He had a lot of he left a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Yes. Meanwhile, like stuff like Perrin is almost entirely Sanderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the Matt stuff, but not all of it is Sanderson, which you can tell.
Yeah. So, we know there are sections that he wrote verbatim, and then there are some characters that he gave, he had plans for that he wrote down, some of which got changed, like you said, with Egwene. So.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I can't believe it.
You've got a really good Matt section.
I'm kind of surprised. I'm actually, it's kind of surreal that I'm done with all the Robert Jordan. Almost, I'm done with all the Robert Jordan stuff.
99%. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm on the Now I'm on the Sanderson stuff. I've never read Sanderson before. So.
Well, the good news is the world has already been built, so he doesn't do a whole lot of world building. The promise and the progress has happened. It's a lot of payoffs back to back to back. And it's eminently readable.
I'm really curious about his writing structure as opposed to Robert Jordan. Robert Jordan has paragraphs after paragraph, long.
You'll notice
long paragraphs.
Yeah,
you'll
Sanderson
notice a
definitely
difference.
He definitely has shorter paragraphs. He has a lot more POV switches, like stuff like that.
He jumps around a lot more inside chapters, like the last battle just jumps back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that arguably can help with pacing, right? If the writer is a stickler for sticking with one POV in a chapter or a section, it can feel slow because it all has to kind of flow with the character chronologically.
Yep.
If you're doing rapid POV switches with paragraph breaks, it feels more like a movie where you're seeing something from one person's point of view and then you flip to another scene. So you're just basically getting small snippets of the story, but all the time. So it feels faster.
Yeah. It also feels different.
Yeah, that too.
Because that's not what we've gotten. But yeah.
Not yet.
What did you send me, Staple Ball?
Oh, the image? That's the Russian cover for Knife of Dreams.
Who is that supposed to be Rand?
No, it's the final battle with Matt.
Alexander is saying something that I agree with. It is probably some of the best stuff that Sanderson has written. Whether or not it's some of his best work, he tried really hard, and that's admirable. And what an impossibly hard thing to ask someone to do.
Huh. Yeah. Who's the guy with the horn? Who's the guy at the top?
In the back. That's one of Death Watch. That's the Ogier, I think.
Oh, that's an Ogier?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
Remember, the Death Watch guards have Ogier.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't see.
Go ahead.
I gotta get going because I gotta let my dog out.
Okay.
All right.
Super late. So I don't know if we're done and you want to do the outro now, Brian, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alan, I know you have your streams every Saturday. You had one yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Steve streams. He's probably going to be yelling about the bear, and White Cloaks are going to eventually have a comeback. They're going to get the band back together. Maybe talk about bricks and minifigs, or
that's what I'm hoping,
or some other fantasy. But other than that, yeah. All right, but yeah. Other than everybody, thanks for being here. Sorry that this took so long. I probably should have prepared better, but yeah. Let's enjoy the outro and call the night. Until then, book 12. Book 12. Maybe after I see Dane. I'm actually gonna read your. I'm gonna try and read some of your book before I see you. So the next thing I'm reading is your book. So I have to re-upload.
Perfect.
I have to re-upload the new version that you sent me. So
Perfect.
So all right, everybody,
All right.
take care. Have a good night. Stay incorporeal, and let's check out the outro.
I have won again, Nerdporial.